Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas. I hope you all had a very beautiful Christmas with your family or whoever you spent time with again on Christmas Day proper. More importantly, Blue Morning to you because, in fact, it is the Blue Morning Show. We're here to review the match at tomorrow's game between Chelsea Football Club and Bournemouth FC. We will review the match, talk about the history, players to watch. And then we're going to the lineup of building, lineup predicted lineup exercise where we try to correctly predict Graham Potter's selection for the game tomorrow. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it immediately. I hope you're all doing well. More importantly, and let me see if we'll have anything in the chat. As it is, as always, it is always interactive here. Sorry about the cough. I'm still not 100%. So it's important that I look at what we have in the chat and see who's there already. As usual, Liam Lane, if it's not the first, I'd be surprised. Is Blue Morning Kachila panel and chat. Blue Morning to you too, brother. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. Here he says, please like and subscribe if you haven't. When you enter, as it helps the channel reach a wider audience. Yes, the likes are very, very important, critical, if you prefer, to the success of the channel. Because the more you like the video, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered, realizing that, again, a lot of people are interested in the topic and they will push it to even more people that are interested in this particular topic. For many reasons, this game is going to be a very, very tough one. We're going to look at the recent results of both teams and see how well they fared. But before we do that, let's look at how many, again, players that are available, and players that are that are injured. Just quickly, let me respond to something here. Okay, yeah. Just 1 second. Right, let's look at it. For Chelsea Football Club, Wesley Fofana is injured. I'm sure everybody again is aware of that. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is injured. N'Golo Kante is injured. Wesley Fofana will not be he will not be back until mid-January. Ruben Loftus-Cheek will not be back in a few weeks. N'Golo Kante is out and will not be back until late February. February. Mateo Kovacic a few days. A personal reason he says, but I'm sure it's because of how far Croatia went into the World Cup, how well they did. So yeah, I think he's still on the break. Hakim Ziyech still on the break. It's his personal reason, but I know quite well. Again, he's still on the break. Cesar Azpilicueta calf injury doubtful. I think I don't think he'd start, no matter what happens there. But let's see what happens. Hakim Ziyech, I've talked about him. Ben Chilwell, hamstring injury, a few weeks. Amanda Broya, knee injury, late August. Wow, that's January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Holy Tomolika, that's like 8 months. I didn't even know it's going to be out that long. But I'll come back to that. And for Bournemouth, they have Ryan Fredericks. I don't want to try to pronounce this particular category of injury. Castronosical discomfort for NATO, hamstring injury for Marcus Tavernier, the same discomfort. Lloyd Kelly, ankle injury for David Brooks, hamstring injury. And I have to be honest, these are players I don't know that much, really, for being. I have to be truthful here. And King Mo says, good morning. Good morning to you too, King Mo. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the show, finding the time to join the show. Same thing as my brother, Match host of Trends TV. Lateness is greatness. You're not even late. You're early. The show started about 3 minutes ago. And if you're watching, remember, we would do a giveaway today. It's a Christmas giveaway, something that again that was budgeted for the Roman Abramovich attribute contest. I was ill-advised. I postponed it again for some reason. When I was ready to do it, the contestants weren't ready to participate. So yeah, so we're sharing that for this Christmas for the loyal fans, members of the community. Just quickly, an update. I want to knock out the update quickly that my brother Liam Lane shared with me before we go back to talking about the show proper. Let me see. Just give me 1 second. 1 second. I'll come back to that. And again, please, as you're watching, if you haven't, again, if you're just joining, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. Thank you so much for doing that, kindly doing that. All right, here's the update from Liam Lane. It says Chelsea owner Todd Bowley restricting January transfer budget despite a pressing priority. Okay, that's really concerning to me. I don't know why that's the case because we have a serious issue in the midfield area, especially the lack of creative midfielders available. That's been a problem because of the lack of players who are capable of creating chances from central areas. The majority of the chances that Chelsea create do come from the flanks and mainly on the ground, which is easy to stop. It is predictable and in turn very easy to stop. So to me, I'm surprised that he's, again, limiting budget. Maybe the available budget will be to sort out the pressing need, such as again signing a creative midfielder, a defensive midfielder. So let me just say I'm not going to be worried too much about it because there's a chance the available budget is again set aside for solving the pressing need, the immediate problems or the existing problems on the team. So let's see if that's the case, of which I believe that will be the case. Let me see what else we have in the chat here. I have again. I hope a Chelsea win game tomorrow. I hope we win. We cannot win. How many games in a row? Let me check that quickly. It will be again depressive for the players. It will be again a confidence crushing if we lose the game tomorrow. So just quickly, let me see. Again a recent record. How many the games? Okay, you see, we lost 1, 2, 3, 4 games in a row. So if we lose that one, it will be 5 games in a row. And like I said, it will be confidence crushing. I really do not want that to happen. Recovering from it will be very difficult because we have a difficult run of games. That includes. Let me look at it quickly before I continue here. I have to go back to Chelsea. I have to go back to fixtures. We have a difficult run of games. The Bournemouth again. As much as it is winnable on paper, I think it's a difficult one given two factors: the charity FC factor plus the physical side, which again the crop of players we have at the club at this point, they don't usually play well against teams that are very physical. Nottingham Forest, as much as they're not, again, it's winnable on paper. They play high octane football, which also again is the approach of football. The crop of players we have at the club, fine again, they don't do well against them. Plus, we don't have Kovacic. I think by that time we'll have Kovacic, but today's game will not have Kovacic. Then we have Man City. We'll have Man City again, and Fulham isn't an easy game to play. Then we have. So if we lose these 2 games, it will be confidence crushing. It will be very difficult to come back from about again, let's say 5 losses in a row. And all the teams that are playing us will say, okay, play us with high confidence, saying, okay, we're struggling right now. So to them, it will be a winnable game. But that's by the way, we'll move on. Let me go back to the game we're talking about right now, which is Chelsea versus Bournemouth here. Let me see. I'm gonna catch up with what we have in the chat. I don't want it to be too long before I try to read them. That's why. Let's see again. Hey guys, good morning. Good morning to you too. YTVO1. Is that VO1 or VOI? I'm not sure. But whatever it is, again, great to see you. And Chun, nice to see you. Why is that news believable? Which news? What news in particular? Oh yeah, what again? What I read about Graham Potter. It is very very Again, Todd Bowley, it is very believable, really. But again, don't hold your breath in it. A lot of stuff. There are lots of rumors out there. You can say majority of them aren't true if you pay attention to them. So let's just take it with a pinch of salt and think maybe it isn't true. Um, let's say again, Kinsella says Santos and Fofana will go out on loan. That cannot be true. Clickbait. For again, if any of them, both players, any of the two players you just mentioned, had to leave on loan, it will be because there is a work permit issue for some reason or the other. Then they will go out on loan because it doesn't make any sort of sense to let the players leave on loan since we don't get what a thing, especially in the midfield area. Again, we don't have a deep squad really. We have a bloated squad. That's a better term for it. Okay, because we have a large squad, but majority of them don't have complementary skills. A lot of them play the same way. So yeah, it wouldn't be correct to say we have a deep squad. That is not even a reliable source, Kachila. Okay, maybe that's the case. But like I said, if anything, I'd say if they're restricting the budget, what we have available will be again used towards assigning players that will help us solve the immediate issue we have right now, pressing needs. If you prefer, again, we have 7 likes already, and again, that's good because we have just we're just 16 minutes into the show, 5 minutes of which went towards again the start of the show. So the intro, if you want to say it that way. If you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream, and again, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I says pick up everyone and hit the like button, people, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. For my brother Tobago, I hope you're doing well, and I hope you enjoy your Christmas. YTV, as everyone says, we should buy Mokoko and Santos. They are the cheap versions of Hendrick and Bellingham. Haven't we signed Santos already? But for Mokoko, for me, I'm going to say what I've said before, probably 3 times already. Whenever he plays, I get that again, Missy Bashwai vibes. I don't know why. Maybe I don't know him too well, or maybe I need to see him play 90 minutes to understand quite well that he's a good player. For me, he's a bit clumsy. And the question again I'm asking is if we signed what's his name? If we signed Dr. Fafana already, why should we be trying to sign what's his name, Mokoko? How are we going to accommodate them both? Is that if we already decided, the club have already decided to let what's his name, Dr. Fafana leave alone, then yes, again, it won't make any sort of sense. That express report goes against what we have been previously told, that we were in the market for 3 or 4 players. So I guess we won't be, again, it won't be long finding out how true that report is. That's the truth. But again, it makes sense. Even if that report is true, I don't think it's anything to be concerned about, given that even if the budget is limited, the focus will be to use what's available to sort out, the allocated fund to sort out the pressing need like you did put it before. So I'm not really concerned, really. But thank you for sharing that. Big up again to Tobago. I hope you're doing well. They will go on loan due to work permit. My goodness. Again, and that's a serious issue, really. Only 6 months loan. Okay, maybe, hopefully, again, more importantly, we'll find a club where they will continue with their development and get game time. But let's see what happens. Right, just quickly. All right, okay. I'll accept your message and I'll send you the link if you have time. I'll wait for you again. Just 1 second. Let me share the link with somebody that wants to join the panel. So yeah, that's it. Again, we'll move on from that news, but it's quite an interesting one because I want this show to be less than 1 hour so I can go watch other games, because I'm supposed to be covering games, all games again, as much as I can on Soccer Perspective. So I need to know more of the players very well. So whenever I talk about them, I'm talking about players I know. Okay, we come here. We've talked about players that are out. Let's look at the insights for the game. And it's again, more importantly, it's important that we win this game because if it doesn't win, Those in the top four will be again above us with more points, which isn't going to be easy to cover. Here we have the first insight says we're ranked 13th, ranked 13th in goals scored per match. Wow, it went down. At one point, we were at, like, again, was it 6 or so? 13th in goals scored per match. Let me again, they're ranked 12th in goals scored per match. So they've scored more goals than us. So that's concerning, really. They haven't scored in their last 4 matches. Okay, that's us. We haven't scored in their last 4 matches. They haven't considered have considered the most penalties this season. 5. They've considered 5 penalties. But here are 2 things that are concerning for me here. We're ranked 13th in goals scored per match, and Bournemouth are ranked 12th, so they're better than us. And also we haven't scored in 4 matches. I don't think they have anything to compare that to here. And we also haven't scored in 2 matches. So they haven't conceded the most goals. Okay, yep. Haven't won any away. Haven't won any away. Okay, haven't won an away game in their last 5 matches. So on paper, I think we're better placed to win the game given the recent the 2 teams the recent forms. I will also look at again their recent games. Let's see what happens there. On a lighter note, Coach Tobago should tell you the correct pronunciation of his name because you butcher it big time. He hasn't told me. Brian Mawoko, he hasn't told me, so it's not my fault really. But apology. Is it Tobago? I don't know. Let me look at the spelling again. Tibogo. I think since it's Tebogo, so is it Tibogo? You let me know if I pronounce it correctly this time. That's hilarious. Brain always. Yeah. Okay. I give up. Okay. That's by the way. Okay. Now let's look at it again on paper. Given the insights, I think we're better positioned to win this game, at least on paper. Here, let's look at the team's recent form. I think they have a better form, given that of their 5 games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they've won 2, and of our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, we've lost 4. So, if these again, the team form for me trumps the insight, but insight usually, again, they can prove to be again the most helpful in terms of predicting the output of the game. But I'd go with again recent form can be again it's concerning to me. Plus the charity FC factor we talked about. And let's see what we have here. Anything else? Let me comment. Okay, you should. I dare Potter to lose to Bournemouth. If he does, he's gonna be like Asari in 1819. He's gonna start feeling like Jesus on the cross. I swear. I get your argument, but here's the thing: if you read a recent comment about how he said again, he's met with the new owners, he's seen how much they support him, his confidence is cool. He's looking forward to more weeks, more months, and more years. To me, as much as I'd say, again, yeah, that may well be the truth. That's a chance because even if you're struggling, they're not going to come out and say, your job is on the line. You got to start performing, because they know that will mean putting more pressure on him. So he shouldn't really bank on that. He should start, again, he should get the team to start winning matches. I hope that starts tomorrow. But we'll see what happens. Again, how can you wish the club to lose? Did anybody say he wishes the club wins? Or you're referring to me? I never said that. I'm just, again, going by the facts, the insights, and the club's recent forms to come up. It's more like, again, looking at the insights and the recent form, it's more like using statistics to, find out the outcome of a particular situation. So that's, by the way, we've looked at all the players that are out. Again, we know players that are available. Thiago Silva, again, in the probable lineup here, Thiago Silva isn't here. He's also isn't. I think because they made it to the quarterfinals, so probably there's a chance it's still on break, or we don't know what Graham Potter would do. So if you're watching, if you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, we go into building the lineup. And if you're following Chelsea news of late, you'd see that again, the media did report that Graham Potter is working on practicing with a back four structure with the team and a back three structure with the team, but mainly a hybrid approach where it will be a back four when we're defending, but a back three in transition. So we will again. That's why I'm picking 4-2-3-1, which is a formation he's used, I think, on 2 occasions. And during when the game started, it was clear that it was a hybrid approach. So to me, I think this is the structure I will go with. Well, again, if anything, we'll miss the structure, but again, let's try and get the personnel correct, the 11 correct. Let's see what we have here. Merry Christmas, my moderator. Again, press the like button, people. Yes, if you haven't, please do take a second. Drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And we have Hakeem in the house. Hakeem CFC. Welcome to the panel, brother. Again, if you're using your phone, if you put it horizontally, then your screen will go full if you want to do that. But that's up to you. Remember, guys, we'll be doing a giveaway before the show ends, so that we all can go watch the Premier League. So again, thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Hakeem, how are you doing? If you can't do it now, don't worry about it.
I don't know how to do it. I think this is my first time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm doing good. What about you?
I can't complain, man. I had a very good Christmas. I was again down with the flu, but I'm happy I was able to recover recover enough to enjoy my Christmas. Glad to hear that you're doing well, and everyone else in the chat that I've asked how they're doing said they are doing well. Perfect formation. Yeah, to me, I loved that formation. Again, I love the formation. Kelvin Atule says, and here again, Tiba Salih for talking to someone else. Coach, is that your twin? You could say that. Again, he's a bro. Hakeem is a bro. So again, yeah, I get it. If you want to say that, fine. We talked about this. I don't know if you have anything to say to it. This comment right here, where Chelsea owner Todd Bowley he's restricting the January transfer budget despite pressing priority. To me, I'm not concerned. Are you concerned about that?
For me, I'm not. I'm not also concerned because I was also thinking about this. I think when you are a team and then other teams knows that you are you are searching for players. I think they try to milk a lot of money out of you because they know where they are and they know their stand. So for me, I'm not concerned about it. I think it's the right move. I think if we want to do anything, we all know that we are not guaranteed top 4 or we are not guaranteed to win anything this season. So for me, I think we have to take it slow in the transfer market this January. We are on the right move. We've gotten some players, some young players, which I think we can utilize, and most of our players will also come back from injury. So for me, what I think we should do is to save for now and then have enough in the summer transfer, and then we go all in. Because when we spend money right now, when we spend lots of money right now, and then it's in the summer, and maybe there are better players that we can scout, and we can, and you know that we have a lot of players coming back from loan. Chelsea have like tons of players. We can even create 3 teams with our players, with the amount of players that we have. So we have to keep it. We have to keep everything. We have to take everything on. We have to know how to let some players go. We have to let some players go first, and after then, we can think of bringing new players, because you can't just be bringing new players when you have the old players there. So for me, I think we have to.
I seriously do not think Chelsea will allow any player leave this January. Why do I say that? Again, because we were thin, really, in certain areas. Plus, again, if we're going to let any player go, which means we already signed a replacement, and Kunku isn't coming in January, and we're hearing that there's again there may be a work permit issue for Santos and Datro Fofana, which means they're not gonna again they're not gonna be able to help us sort out the issue we have immediately. And whereas I understand your point of again the selling club sensing that we're desperate in January, if we try to go to them, they will make money out of us. Again, they will squeeze every penny we have out of us. So my point is, but still, it's important that we fix that again in the pressing issues in the team, such as signing a defensive midfielder because of how long N'Golo Kante will be out, and probably he will end up leaving. N'Golo Kante will end up leaving again by the end of the season. Then again, also again, if you don't make it into the Champions League and you don't win the Champions League, then in the summer when you feel like okay, you're ready to spend now, you're not going to be able to sign again players that the big name players, the good players, established players would not want to come to Chelsea. I hope that makes sense to you.
Yeah, but coach, let me make something clear.
Mhm.
For me, my understanding of football and football managers is to be a really top, to be a top football manager is to know how to develop players, not only buy players and then buy expensive players or like what class players and then uh, feed them in your team. For me, what I understand about a really good manager is to try to make good use of everything that you have around you. Let's take Tuchel for instance. When Tuchel came to Chelsea, those were the players that he came and met was like they weren't his players; they were Lampard players, but he was able to win Champions League with us. For me, like we have Zakaria in our team, which is defensive midfielder. So it's you cannot always have your way as a coach. Like so, I think that um, what is the name of our coach?
Graham Potter.
Uh, yeah, Graham Potter have to make good use of the players that he has because I don't think our players are, excuse my word, are totally shit or anything. I think our players are okay, like they are okay. But I think right now he has time to assess everything because I also give him the benefit of the doubt because he didn't uh, get the chance to go on preseason with these players.
Mm-hmm.
So the what come has come like for I think almost about a month. So he has time, he has access to players. So he has to bring the best out of these players, especially like when we talk about defensive midfielder, we have somebody like Dennis Zakaria. So he has to try to feed him in and make sure that like he get the best out of the player. So yeah, it's not always you have to. Yeah, I understand the point that yeah, we have to bring some players in, even if we bring any player in January. I think yes, the defensive midfield, um, the a defensive midfielder should be our priority. But apart from that, I don't think we need um we need um some people say Chelsea need 5 players or 4 players. For me,
Mm-hmm.
I think the best position that we have to try and get a player is the defensive midfield. Apart from that, I think we are okay. Yeah, I think
Okay.
we are okay.
Yeah, okay. We'll see what happens. Again, here's the thing. My argument against comparing Graham Potter's situation to Thomas Tuchel's situation, he doesn't have, in the case of Thomas Tuchel, again, we had the full squad available. I don't remember anybody being out injured long term or anything else. In the case of Graham Potter, if you look at this here, again, let's look at this lineup. Is it this one here? Just 1 second. If you look at this lineup here, look how many players we have out. Some of them are because of how well they did again, how far that they went into in the World Cup. And some are really serious injury, knee injury here, hamstring injury, calf injury, hamstring injury, calf injury, and knee injury. That's how many. And these are all again important players. Again, but
Yeah.
I get your argument. If Potter really again, if we go back what we have and not reinforce the team, fortify the team, especially in the attacking area, like the 10 area, or maybe even wingers. I think we'll have a very serious problem. You could argue because probably this comment is suspicious to me in the sense that um, he'd already started again talking about how well, what's his name, how well Hakim Ziyech did during the World Cup, which to me was strange, given the fact that given how he treated him, he didn't even want to pick him during games. So, which means he probably must have had a conversation with the owners and realizing there's a limit to how much the owners are willing to spend in January. But that's, by the way, AD, again, welcome to the panel. I hope you had a good Christmas. I want us to get into building the lineup as soon as possible so that we can go watch the game. Eddie, do you want to talk about this tweet on the screen, or do you want us to move on? Whatever you want to do. If you want to talk about it, if it's a concern to you, go ahead.
Big up, bro.
Big up,
and compliments of the season to everybody. And I didn't get his name. Sorry, I joined late. So the panelists there. Hakim. Big up to you, bro. And it's good that we are back to club football, talking about club football again after the long, about a month plus off now. The comment on the screen there is very apt. Honestly, it's just I go a little bit with other comments, because I've not been too convinced about Potter, to be honest. Because if you look, the last 4 games before the World Cup is ended up in defeat, and we've not scored a single goal, which is not good enough, no matter the opponents we're playing against. And I agree with Hakim again about what he said about a manager does not only come to have established players that you have to just pick and then expect them to do the job for you. You have to develop and help players who are in difficulty, because players go through different phases, different times in their career. So if he comes in now, just exactly what Hakim said about Tuchel when he came, we all remember Rudiger was nowhere in the team under Lampard. He was on the verge of being sold, and look at what Potter did. What Tuchel did, bringing him back, and he ended up becoming one of our best.
Go ahead, Eddie. I'll be back. Just half a minute. I'll be back. Go ahead.
Yeah. So he ended up becoming one of our better defenders. So it's all about him trying to develop these players and make sure that he gets the best out of them. So going forward, I think the World Cup break came at a very good time for him. So he has time now to rethink and look at what he thinks going forward will be best for the team to get results. Because anything short of a win tomorrow, I don't think we'll go down well, no matter what we look at, whatever way we want to look at it, no matter whatever injuries we're having. We're talking of Chelsea Football Club, and we should, on any given day, should be beating Bournemouth. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Bournemouth, but playing at home with the squad is God, with the rest they've had, with the time is God to reflect. Anything short of a victory would not go well at all. It would not go well at all, no matter what the number of years he signed as a manager, no matter the project they want to build around him, no matter what the owners are looking at. It's going to be a very big dent on us as a football club going forward. So I really think we have to pray and hope that he gets it right. We have to give him time. But even before the World Cup came, we were kind of not too convinced about his lineup, about the selection of players, about the people he's not picking. Unfortunately, now Broja is out injured, so he's left with Aubameyang and then maybe Kai Havertz. So we have to see what he's going to do going forward. Chukwuemeka had a good time with him. Let's see what he does with him as well. And then we have to just wait and see. But it's very, very important that we get the 3 points tomorrow, no matter what. We have to get the 3 points, or else it's a very, very bad. It won't look good on Potter at all.
No, it won't. And plus all the subsequent games after that one, and they're not easy. We have to play Manchester City twice, and Nottingham Forest. They're not easy to play. And if you're talking about the crop of players we have, they play high octane football, which usually we struggle to deal with the current crop of players. So it will be, again, this is an acid test for him. It's a period. This period would define whether he's capable of, getting us where we want, because that's what he's being paid the big buck for. Potter's tactics have been shambolic since getting the job, and has been dominated like we've never seen before. He owes Kepa a December bonus because Kepa carried him and saved him of further embarrassment. A lot of people, again, that's good, seriously, that's serious observation there. Very, very good observation, because a lot of people weren't paying attention to how poorly we performed when people were busy raving. They were busy raving about the unbeaten run, then the 7 games unbeaten run. But had they paid attention to those games, they'd see that we were actually lucky not to have, witnessed the type of loss we witnessed against Brighton at least 3 times during that run. Because Kepa, he did a very good job again at helping us win games or get out with a draw. We just have to support Potter as a Chelsea fan. We have to. Again, Chelsea is the entity we support, because if Potter does well, Chelsea will do well. How about, again, Tuchel tactics? Okay, they're having a conversation there. Prince, I agree. And my brother, Merry Christmas, says Merry Christmas to everyone out there. Nizai, and I hope you're doing well. Again, if you haven't, please go check out the Blue Clouds Media and also Tobago's YouTube channel called The Coolest Charles. Be sure to subscribe to both channels and let them know I sent you. What else do we have here? Again, just conversation between those in the chat. Let me see if there's anything else. Excuses, okay. Tuchel have Ruben. Tuchel gave Ruben a lifetime after a crap form loan. Brought a Chalobah, saved a Rudiger, Alonso, Aspi, J5 and AC, made a Chilwell and Reece elite offensive fullbacks. So we should have higher standards for Potter. Again, I'm not going to go into the argument really, but I get your point. Potter should be sacked. Do you think, again, for what reason? I don't think the owners will be sacking him so soon. He's on a long-term contract. Plus, they would want to show the fan base. Again, we knew exactly what we're doing. It wasn't a mistake hiring him. And again, if you're using all caps, the robot that's policing the chat, he will, again, delete your message. And if you're typing 2 messages and sending them at the same time, it will say it as spam, and it will, again, delete it. So, and it's not a human being. So be careful, please. Sack Potter, okay, I get it. No wonder why he was seeing a spam there. Okay, so that's it. We'll move on from that. Let's look at this. Eddie, I want to ask you, again, before we go into talking about the game, let's look at, again, our next games. Or maybe let's do that last. We don't want to start. Let's start building the lineup, because that's a game that will start in about in less than 30 minutes, actually. Let's see how far we can get into the show before the game starts. I know people will want to go watch it. Eddie, for you, who starts between the sticks?
I've not followed the injury report from all the team. I don't know if Kepa is back fit.
Yeah, I think he's back fit, because if he's not, again, he's not in the list here of those of the players that are out. We have Amanda Broya, Ben Chilwell, Cesar, Kweta Hakim Ziyech, Mateo Kovacic, N'Golo Kante, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and Wesley Fofana. I think it's fine. Yeah.
So if it's fine, we don't know how match fit he is. If he's not match fit, because there's difference between coming back after injury and then being a match fit. I know he's a goalkeeper, but at the same time, he needs the sharpness back and everything. So if he's convinced the coaching crew that he's fit enough, I think he goes straight back into the lineup. Because even if we watch what the performance of Mendy, even in the World Cup, wasn't that convincing again. So I don't think.
Yeah, lots of high-profile errors.
Yeah, so I don't think he's helped himself in that regard. So I think it's going to be, if Kepa is fit, Kepa goes in for me.
Yeah, plus if Mendy, even if it's not fully fit, I think there's a chance Potter will see Mendy's contract situation as distracting. Maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah, because he's made the news everywhere, and to me that's concerning. Just quickly before I get your thoughts, Hakeem, let me catch up with what we have in the chat. Yewole, my Niger brother here, says, I know Chelsea will get back again. He should just look into his tactics and have them balanced. To me, what I think his biggest problem was it didn't look as if, again, he was paying attention to the numbers after each game. All he knew then it was that we were winning games. We didn't lose any games. To him, maybe he was seeing it as from the same lens as the fans did then, not paying attention to the numbers. Because a prime example, something that showed me that he wasn't really paying attention to the numbers, was after we played against Salzburg away. Kepa, again, our defenders and our goalkeeper were the best. Again, were the best players on the pitch on the day. Plus, they had a more XG than us. They played actually. They could have won the game. And then he started nearly the same 11 against Brighton. Not even again making some changes because those guys did a lot of running. Because against Salzburg, we played with just three recognized defenders. So yeah, again, to me, it doesn't look like he's paying attention to the numbers really. I hope that has changed, or maybe it was just a one-off thing. I hope I'm wrong, really. Here again, it says again, Potter is not getting sacked, so no point in wasting your energy in looking to get him sacked. Yep, it's not going to happen for many reasons, really. Potter is the future. Have hope, says my brother. Again, Knee Zion. Sack Potter while you don't own a Chelsea football. Yeah, again, we can talk about it all we want. The owners will end up doing what they want. How on earth was someone hired? Someone hire Potter? He doesn't know anything about football. It should be sacked. Maybe that's how you see it. Coach, once again, we need to remind the Chelsea community that we are a rebuilding. So getting beat by Bournemouth won't really matter, but would stink. Give Potter time. I'm all for giving him time. The question I've always asked people is that how much time is enough time, really? We're Chelsea Football Club. And the fact that we're rebuilding doesn't mean the process has to be as painful as many people are telling us that it will be. We still have nearly the same squad that Thomas Tuchel had. Again, I'm not saying something I've said a million times. I'm not saying we have the best squad in the league. I'm not saying we have, again, the worst squad in the league. If anything, we're in between the two measures, if you want to phrase it that way. But we should be doing better than we're doing. It's as simple as that, and we haven't come close to being that. We have always said we have always said on any manager, let him get his own players. Yeah, if that's the case, and then judge him judge him. Why should Potter be any different? My only concern about Potter is, again, we shouldn't be doing as badly as we're doing. It's as simple as that. I'm not saying that, again, we shouldn't give him time. For me, let's wait to the end of the season. We'll have enough sample size to look at it and say, hiring this man was a mistake. It would be too soon to say that, even if we lose another 3 games in a row. It will stink, like Oyewole said. Again, Brian Mawoko said, but again, that would be something to learn from it. Let me see anything else to address here. This says again, the same players let Tuchel down. Yeah, like Tuchel said, same players, same problem. What are we saying here? Go and check the records. No English manager is successful. To Potter is not going to be one. History will still repeat itself. At the end, he will definitely be sacked. Here's the thing. In terms of no English manager has, again, been that successful, the truth remains records are meant to be broken. There's always a first for everything. For instance, Africa made it to the semifinals the first time. So there's always the first for everything. So if you're saying this, which means you're saying Africa will never win the World Cup, for instance. So yeah, let's just wait, give him time, then we'll judge at the end of the season. To me, I'm not into giving him a second season if we look into it and say, wow, this is really poor. Philip, which coach? Okay, this is just a conversation between those in the chat. Coming to you, Hakeem, quickly. Which of the two goalkeepers do you think will start? As for me, I think it will be Kepa Arrizabalaga because he's recovered. Plus, he still trained with Potter during, again, the break because he started. I think he resumed training before the World Cup ended. So that gives him an edge over Kepa Arrizabalaga. And Slonina, who's been training with the team, I don't think he gets a chance to start. But your thoughts on who you think will start between the sticks?
For me also, like, I would like Kepa to start because of what he did before the break. But then, I don't know, maybe I think Mendy will start because Kepa hasn't been in the post for Chelsea for a while now. So I don't know how his fitness is going, and I don't know if, as Eddie said, I don't know if he's match. I don't know if he has like a match fitness. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I think Mendy will start, but I would like Kepa to start. And then about Slonina, I've been hearing people saying that Chelsea are looking for a goalkeeper, and we all have common sense. So when you see something, I think you have to also use your common sense to analyze things. I think Chelsea are trying to build something, and somebody like Slonina, like I've watched him, and I think um, for what Chelsea are trying to build, I don't think Chelsea will get a goalkeeper now. For me, what I think Chelsea is going to do is to just let um, Mendy and Kappa do their thing till their contract is ended or one of them is gone, and then they might push Slonina to the first as the first goalkeeper. I don't see Chelsea getting any new goalkeeper in like anywhere like anytime soon.
Yeah. Plus, again, Mendy still has a few years left on his contract, so the club will not be in a rush to again give him what is asking or let him leave. Um, yeah. Slonina, I've asked this question like 10 million times. I've asked again, does anybody know how good he is with his feet? I know again he emerged as one of the best goalkeepers in the MLS, but it's again I don't know how good he is with his feet because to me that again that's very important to how Graham Potter approaches likes to approach the game. But we'll see.
I think
But go ahead.
Okay, I think his age also like age is at his favor. So even if he's not good with his feet, yeah, this is what I say. Like as a coach, you have to know how to get the best out of your players. So it's up to Porter to make sure that he's he get better with his feet if he's not that good. So for me, I
Mhm.
think it's up to I think this is why Todd Bowley brought Porter for him to develop the young players because he has a track record of developing young players. So yeah, I think that is his job for him to try to get the best out of the team. So if Slolina is not good at with his feet, and you want a player to be good with their feet, this is your chance for you to get him and make sure that he get better with his feet.
Yeah. Again, how about you, Eddie? You want to say anything about Slonina, or should we move on?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know much about him, about how good he is with his feet. So I don't know, but I know he's a very good shot stopper. So, but about feet, I don't know. I don't know what he looks like. So, but I don't
Mhm.
see him starting now. It will be Kepa or Mendy going forward.
Yeah, and that's very important. So let's go again to continue building the lineup. Eddie, I'm still with you now. I'm starting with 4-2-3-1 because we've looked at it before and how we approached was it again the Wolves game. It was easy to transition from a back three to a back four. So again, how do we set up this to again who starts the two central defenders here, center backs? Who do you think starts?
Um, I say I think it'll be Koulibaly and Chaloba. I'm not sure. Is um any the Brazilian contingent are they back?
Silva, Silva.
Thiago Silva.
I think, but they went again. Brazil got to the quarterfinals. I think he's still on a
Yeah.
break. And
No, Silva is back.
has he
Oh, is
trained?
Silva back?
Yeah. Silva is back. He has been training with them.
So yeah, so that's
Oh,
where again who starts again in the middle of this back four structure.
yeah, but I
So
think because if and definitely Koulibaly came back ahead of Silva, so
mhm.
I say it might be Koulibaly and Chaloba.
Plus, I don't think this game is one game he would want to start him given again, on paper, you could say it's a winnable game. So we'll say Koulibaly here. And if you're in the chat, if you have any concerns with this, you let us know. Koulibaly here and Silva on the right hand side. That's usually the placement, right? What do you think? Do you agree with this? No, you say Chalobah. Yeah. Again,
Yeah,
even if what's his name? Even if Silva is ready, I don't think he'd risk starting him because I don't know how many there's in between games, but even at that, Koulibaly returned earlier and has trained with the team longer than Silva. Plus Chalobah didn't go to the World Cup. I think it's going to be these two. What do you think? Just quickly, while you speak, I'll be right back, Hakim.
yeah. For me, I feel like I also choose this same lineup, Koulibaly and Chalobah, because they've been at the ground. They've been at the ground with Graham Potter during the break. So I don't think I don't think Silva coming with what he has gone through at the World Cup. For me, I feel like you have to also assess Silva mentally. If he's mentally there, if he's mentally motivated. So the best lineup to start with is Koulibaly and Chalobah. And about Koulibaly, I saw a lot of people talking about his performance at the World Cup. Yeah, his performance at the World Cup might not be that good, but given the time that he has had with Graham Potter, because he resumed training with Chelsea like early. So based on what Graham Potter wants to do, for me, I feel like it's better to start with Koulibaly and Chalobah.
Okay, Koulibaly and Chalobah. Now, the question is, here's the thing. Let me catch up with the chat first. Eddie, if you look at this, we have to start again. I think the way it is now, naturally, I think the best person to start left back here. Wow, we have a selection headache there. But let me catch up with what we have in the chat already. Again, Mendy to start tomorrow. Again, we'll see what happens. The vote there again picked Kepa Arrizabalaga 55% to 45%. So let's go with what those majority carry the vote. What again? They say the people have spoken, and that's the case right now. Amali, okay, this is just a conversation between the two people. I'll remind you guys after 3 games because I don't see Chelsea winning Bournemouth. Okay, we'll see what happens if that's how you see it. CFC Nation says, honestly, I know we have a bad wreck against Bournemouth. Yep, again, they've been a bogey team for us. Against Bournemouth has as long as we play good with fighting mentality. Okay, it's not going to be easy. I hope we win that one. But again, they're a very physical side, and we've struggled to play against teams that are physical. We have a poor form against them. That's the truth. Koulibaly and Chalobah probably. Silva, I don't see him risking Silva in this game, even if he returned earlier. 3 games losing streak. We'll see what happens. Cooley and Trevor. Okay, same as you. I don't see Mendy starting while is in dispute over his contract unless Kepa is injured. And Kepa has recovered and has since resumed training. So most likely Kepa will start the 26th. I don't hate anyone. History is talking. Yeah, I understand. Again, you have every right to express yourself. Just don't fight anybody. Morning, guys. It says old Havat Kai had. Morning to you two. Can use Kepa with his lucky goalkeeping. He will sooner be exposed once again. I'm not sure when you say exposing Kepa. I'm not sure in what aspect you're referring to. But that's, by the way, Eddie, coming back to you, let's talk about the 2 guys to the right and to the left. That's right back, left back. James, for me, most definitely. He's, again, I'm not sure, but let me get your thoughts. And on the left, I think Cucurella will start. But that begs the question, how do we accommodate Lewis Hall? But go, Eddie, over to you.
Yeah, exactly. The right side will be Reece James, yeah?
You think he's fit enough to start?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah. But if he's not fit enough to start, then that changes everything about the lineup and probably the formation.
I think he'd be ready to start, given that he actually wanted to go to the World Cup.
Exactly. So if he's fit enough to start, then I say it'll be Reece playing on the right side there, yeah.
And then how about on the left?
Yeah, it'll be Cucurella. Say it'll be Cucurella. Don't know if he's going to throw Lewis Hall into this kind of game. The young lad is capable of holding his own, but I think it'll be Cucurella on that left side.
Mm-hmm. So looking at this back four now, if this is what we're going for, if we're attacking, Cucurella can be on the left and transition into a left center back, while that is we're attacking from the right, and James is off here. Cucurella will transition into the left center back. Koulibaly will lead central and Chalobah right center back. So it makes sense. And if we're attacking from the left and Cucurella is up, then Koulibaly left center back, Chalobah central, and James right center back. So I think this will work really. Does that work for you, Eddie, given what I just explained?
Exactly. When we look everything on paper, Kochi, it looks as if it will work. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to the proper application of it, sometimes we're all over the place at times under Potter. So far, I don't know, but hopefully we think it should work. It should work. You know, think that's not bad. That's not bad back four, to be honest. So we see.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Back in a hybrid approach. Just quickly, knowing Silva, he would want to start to get the World Cup out of his head. But here's the thing again. I think this is going to be a physical game. I think Graham Potter would rather play him in a game where his intelligence comes into play, as in dealing with. I think Nottingham Forest. They do a lot of running. I think he'd be able to, again, not, I know he doesn't have pace, but he'd be able to help control the game in the sense it will help, again, will cause them to run a lot and then get tired, and maybe from there we'll deal with them. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I think Koulibaly starts, given that he joined the camp, he returned earlier than Silva did, and Chalobah didn't go anywhere. Sorry?
And then if we look at it, looking at the fixtures ahead, after Nottingham Forest, we have back-to-back games against Man City. So those are two games that Silva will be nailed on to be involved. Yes.
Bigger games. Our old Havertz Kai Hart says, "Is this the current Chelsea mood now? Not even confident against Bournemouth." Wow. Well, you don't blame anybody. You don't blame anybody. Kepa is the Potter relying luck. We don't need that, do you? I get it. We don't need to be relying on the goalkeeper again to help us come through games or draw games or win games. We need, again, every player or every department on again of the team to be doing well. Now, as we play on RJ on the bench, I don't think so. Aspie has a knock or so he's a doubt. So I don't think it starts. Let's see what happens. Kim, so I hope you had a very good Christmas. Majority of the losses this season we had came from simple mistakes, and at times we didn't even look like we were trying at all. We played games where when we lose the games, you'd see we were really disjointed. We weren't playing as a unit. Zakaria has to play. He can protect the defense. Maybe, we don't know. Let's see what happens. Again, Pepe looks great always. Yeah. Aubameyang has to score. Again, not that if you supply him with a good supply, again, he'll put them away. You can say, let's just say 7 times out of 10 he put the chances away, but the supplies has to come in. Nothing will work under this, but again, come on, man, enough of the negativity. I'm not going to read that again. I have listed 3 games Chelsea will lose a losing streak. Okay, as much as you said you will come back and let us know, you said we will lose. Again, hopefully, when you come back, we'll be saying, you see, we won the games. But that's, by the way, for you, Hakeem. That's Hakeem. Yeah, Hakeem CFC. Your thoughts on the back four? Because from what we've heard, they've been practicing a hybrid approach of switching between back 3 and back 4 structure in game. Do you think, for you, does this look like it will work? They will transition seamlessly to a back 3.
For me, I don't have issues with order. The only place that I have issues is the back left with Cucurella. For me, I feel like if Cucurella, like, we want to get the best out of him, we have to get like a CM who could cover him at the left flank. So for me, I feel like with Cucurella is okay, but sometimes he get exposed when he's like, because he's not physically strong, and he was exposed some of the last games that he was playing, because I don't know if it was with versus Newcastle or no, it was with
what you said. What game are you referring to?
It was with Graham Potter former team.
Okay, Brighton.
Brighton Albion. Like, he was exposed at the left flank because he couldn't recover when he goes forward. So for me, I feel like to get the best out of him, we have to get like a proper CM who could track back, like with really good engine. Then when he goes in front, he wouldn't worry about what is going to happen behind him, because he was really exposed within that game. And I feel like this is new team, and he also has to adapt with it with a new process. With the new information. I don't know the information that he was playing at Brighton, or the information that Graham Potter was playing him at Brighton. The kind of this thing, position that the kind of lineup that they were using. So the only problem that I have in this Chelsea team is at the left back, but for the right back and the center and the defense, like the with Chalobah and Koulibaly, I have confidence in them, but with Cucurella, like I'm not fully convinced with him in this Chelsea team.
Yeah, here's the thing for me. That game if you're talking about it, the Brighton game, two things. Graham Potter started nearly the same 11 that played against Salzburg away that did a lot of running. We played with just three recognized defenders. We played wingers as wing backs. So those are, again, players that are not defensively minded. And then against Brighton, he started nearly the same 11 that did a lot of running without even Jorginho in the game. Because as much as we hate, again, some of us would hate seeing Jorginho in the team, as much as we know he's not the best defensively, we can right now in his absence we tend to do again worse. Against Brighton, he still played the same system with three recognized defenders only, without Jorginho on the pitch, who's capable of at least controlling the game. Helping us keep the ball. So again, the opponent will see the ball less. To me, again, that game, everything that had to go wrong went wrong on the day. I wouldn't really say from that game alone start judging Cucurella, but that's by the way I get your argument. I have to be honest, Coach. Again, I am thinking of going on loan to Bayern. You're not going anywhere, my friend. We know you support Chelsea Football Club. I cannot believe it has come to a point where Chelsea fans get worried about playing Bournemouth. Yep. It has been like that for a while. During the era of Frank Lampard, John Terry, Michael Essien, and all of that, these are games that would count as, again, points clinched. When we're playing teams like this, you say, yeah, we've won this one. We only get concerned when we play teams in the top four, and when it was still top four then. But right now, we have what is called Charity FC. When we play teams that are underperforming or teams that have lost a million game, and we're the 1,000,001 team that they're playing next, the rest assured, again, it's not going to be easy. So how that happened, I don't know, and how that's going to be sorted out, really, I don't know. If I'm being honest, yeah. Bro, again, just remember we have City next to after the Nottingham Forest game, yeah. Again, so it's a serious test for Graham Potter, really. I'm not being negative. Let's not shy away from reality if that's how you want to see it, again. But tone it down a bit, really. It can be annoying to read. Of me, again, I'm not, again, maybe I'm not as realistic as you are. Havertz as a 10, Omari, again, left Aubameyang. We'll see. We'll get to that section later. Cucurella is a flop. Same thing you say about again, what's his name, Koulibaly, but we'll see if it's a flop or not. Brian Markinson, how many games have Cucurella to call him a flop? Too harsh, yeah, too harsh indeed, but that's what's his name. That's Kimso for you. Leon Bailey also tore the left flank of is that Benjamin Ben Chilwell and Cucurella. New one when Villa had us again on the ropes all game. Oh yeah, again. If we can get 6 points in our next two games, it will be good. Let's see what happens. A bit of positivity there from Kimso. Omari and Hakim to start. I hope they both do. Now listen, not Hakim Ziyech really. Omari for me and Lewis Hall. I want to see them both. If you're watching, remember we'll do a giveaway very soon. Maybe after we complete building the lineup, we'll do the giveaway. You get to win $50 if you win. But if you've won, again, if you're one of the winners, the two winners in the previous last two streams, you don't get to win at this time. So let's go back to building the lineup. We're going back just quickly. Let me debunk this. This comment here from Chelsea Express is saying that, again, that Chelsea owner Todd Boehly restricting January transfer budget despite pressing priority. So this one here debunks that rumor, which says Chelsea owners are determined to carry on spending in January to try to make them more competitive competitive in all three competitions they are still in. They want to secure a top 4 finish and to play in the UEFA Champions League next season. A centre back and a striker are of priority. Okay, no midfielders there. So, but if you look at this, to me, that debunks the previous comment, which is practically saying they're not going to be spending that much come January. But that's, by the way, we'll move on. We'll go back to building the lineup. Where is it again? Chosen 11. Here you go. So coming back here, Eddie, I'm going to start with you. We have a problem here. A big problem in the sense we don't have N'Golo Kante, who is capable of, again, shielding the defense better than anybody else we can talk about here. We also have, again, Kovacic, who's the only player that plays whenever we play teams that defend deep. I'm talking about him in the sense that the likelihood of once again a Bournemouth defending deep, again, that's what they do and try to hit us on the break. So I'm concerned here right now. So given that these two players are most definitely out, Kovacic isn't injured, but because of how far they went, again, how well they did at the World Cup, was it semifinals or so? I forgot where they went out. What are we going to do for the 2 6s here?
One thing I want us to note is that the start again of the league season after this World Cup will be a lot different from even starting a regular season immediately after pre-season, because pre-season, before the proper league starts, you have all your players available starting the first game. And as we all know, traditionally, first game of every new season always brings surprises. So this one it's going to look like a new season, but in a different way, because we don't have all players available, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So it's kind of difficult for the coach to have all players involved now. So Kovacic now won't be available, as far as I know, because they went as far as playing the last game, the day before the final, because they played the third place. They finished third. So obviously,
exactly. So not even the Go ahead.
Yeah. So he played so he's not going to be available. But we have Jorginho. No matter what we think, Jorginho is going to start in that middle, and probably Loftus-Cheek. But like Hakim said earlier, he alluded to that we have Zakaria. For whatever reason, I don't know why they don't trust this guy. I really don't understand how and why.
I honestly do not think it's a matter of trust. I think it's a matter of approach. But I'm not sure. There's still time to get to understand Potter very well. But go ahead with what you were saying.
So now, if they can use, if he thinks Zakaria will be good enough there, this is a game that he needs the like of Zakaria to come into this to play, because he's physical, he's strong, he can play. We've seen flashes of him before the World Cup in the game that he played. So I mean, if you trust him enough, he should be. I think Zakaria should be playing there, and then on the other side, obviously, it's going to be Jorginho. But for me, I wouldn't have loved. I wouldn't have loved to see Jorginho there. To be honest, I wouldn't have loved to see Jorginho playing.
So if you weren't, again, if it's not Jorginho, if it's not Zakaria again as one of the 2 6s, who else do you think?
That's where it comes down to. I don't know if you can trust Chukwuemeka to play there, but I don't see Chukwuemeka as a 6.
No, it will be again, even the little I've seen, even though I cannot say categorically, this is where I think Carney Chukwuemeka fits in the team. I don't think he's again, from the little I've seen, I don't think he's a deep line midfielder. Maybe if it is again for the purpose of him playing the Kovacic role, which I call a hybrid of 8 and 6, which is what Kovacic does for us. Kovacic starts alongside Jorginho, but usually Jorginho comes centrally while Kova roams about in the team. Again, he ventures forward even more. I think if anything, maybe that's the role that Carney Chukwuemeka would play.
Exactly. If he plays Chukwuemeka in that role, then I see him playing very well. He can handle it. The boy can handle it then. So, but we don't know. Like comments coming from reports coming during the training period with Chukwuemeka and the manager. He said he loves what he's seen so far from the boy, the way he's been training, and also I won't be surprised if he throws him in to
But
play
I'm not sure.
alongside
Do you think
Jorginho.
it's gonna be deep? Okay, let's ask those again. I don't think it makes sense to actually add them in the poll because Chukwuemeka, for now, as much as we know he's good, his situation. It's unknown where he really fits in the team. To me, I see him as an 8, given the little I've seen. So it's a bit. It's kind of difficult to say this is where the manager is going to play him. Really, what do you think? What do you think, Hakeem? Who do you think partners Jorginho? Because most certainly, like as Eddie says, Jorginho will most likely start.
Yeah, for me, I think Jorginho should start in this team. But um, at the 6, for me, maybe people might think it might be like experiment, but I would have used Lewis Hall at the 6 because his main position is midfield and he's really good at defense. So partnering him with Cucurella, I think would be really good. So for me, I would have used Lewis Hall at 6, but then if like we want to go for an assurance, like what we think the coach might use, he might use somebody like Ruben or Ruben
Ruben is out.
Okay, then I think he might use somebody like Zakaria there because he has no choice. So if it's not Lewis Hall, I think he'll use somebody like Zakaria. But one
Here's
thing
the thing,
also that
if you again, we still have who else can actually play there?
Yeah, for me, I also think Chukwuemeka can also play there.
You think?
Yeah, I think Chukwuemeka can play there.
Can maybe like you said, maybe if he's gonna play the hybrid role of 8 and 6, that is a Kovacic role. Because it wouldn't make any sort of sense to deploy him as a deep line player there. You waste his talent. I'm not sure how good he is defensively if you're gonna play him deep in terms of him not without having the freedom to venture forward. But other than Chukwuemeka now, we have just Zakaria there, who is a recognized 6, but I wouldn't say he's a traditional 6. Who else there? Again, maybe play Conor Gallagher deep.
No.
Yeah, so we lack squad depth, seriously. But
yeah,
let me catch up with what we have in the chat. Zakaria and Jorginho for the double 6. There's a chance that may well be what we'll see there. Again, it's bad when fans are nervous for a match against Bournemouth. Do I blame anybody? I don't really blame anybody. The Blue Cloud says again, feedback. Yeah, I think the feedback was coming from my brother, AD Love for Blue. That's why, again, he's on mute right now. Pulisic right, Omari Hutchinson left. We'll see what happens. And Alba front says, again, other half 14. Nee, when you get a chance, please do share the link to your channel so that people can go check it out. Do the same. Tobago. Yeah. Pulisic, again, I've read that one. Simon Johnson reports makes more sense. Yeah, it does make more sense. And that's why I love you. Again, Liam Len is not one of those when they see one report out there, again, they feel like, okay, that's it. I'm not going to believe anything else. But your open-mindedness marvels me, brother, and I love that. Jorginho and Zakaria pivot. I think that's what's going to most likely happen because I don't see any other player there that's capable of fulfilling that role. Maybe, again, Conor Gallagher actually can play. I don't know if Graham Potter have tried him that deep, but we'll see what happens. Again, why I'm thinking that it may well not be Zakaria Jorginho combo because to me, like if we argued here before, Graham Potter likes to play with, again, 2 CMs rather than what you call 2 6s. He doesn't like to play with traditional 6s in that central area, midfield area, but we'll see what he does. Zakaria and Jorginho, I think, again, says we don't have anyone else. Again, like I said, if tomorrow, again, Graham put select what's his name? It selects if he selects Conor Gallagher in a structure like this, and then which it means really he doesn't play with traditional DM, but there's a chance he may well switch up the system to something like 4-3-3 to accommodate again to just play one player centrally and not double pivot. But we'll see. Agreed, Supreme. I'm not being a negative, but I see Chelsea losing the match. Okay, we've heard you. Ruben is injured. Yep, again, we established that. I don't think, again, Hakim New Zakaria stole. But okay, I'm not going to read that one completely. So Ruben, he cannot defend. Ruben isn't, again, he isn't a 6, really. You've seen how well he did in games where he played in the wing-back position. He's actually been one of those to execute the role better than anyone else. Chukwuemeka is there. He should be included. The problem is, again, why it's going to be difficult for us to really, again, guess correctly where Chukwuemeka is going to start. We know he's a good player. To me, like I said, the little I've seen, I don't think he's a deep line midfielder. I think he's better off playing closer to the final third. From the little I've seen in the cameo that he made, if anything, he's an 8 or 10, not really a 6. If again, maybe Grandpa sees him as again as a capable player that's capable of playing that role of a hybrid of 6 and 8, which Kovacic fulfills for us. But we'll see what happens. Lewis Hall should be should be tried in that pivot. To me, I enjoyed watching him play as a wing back. So we're not sure what Potter is going to do. But again, there's not enough sample really to say to be confident that we're going to correctly predict a Graham Potter selection. It is very, very difficult. Before I continue, please, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Brian Mowoko says again, we haven't seen Zakaria long enough to say that he's not good, and again, and vice versa, we haven't seen him long enough to say that he's good. If anything, think about it. If it's that good, why did Juventus decide to let him leave alone? And plus an option again to buy him. And how many games did he get to play at the World Cup? He needs a consistent game time. I don't think it's worth risking it. The manager don't trust him that much, or for have players who can do better than him. Hall is a worthy experiment in that pivot because all other pivots besides a cover have been disappointment. Cover hasn't been a disappointment really. And if we're talking about Lewis Hall, people say again he plays in the midfield area for the academy. What area in the midfield? Is it further forward, closer to the final third and 8? Or again, I don't know really. Well, again, you don't know if it's capable of protecting the defense, because if we don't protect our defense tomorrow, we'll be in serious trouble. Let's see what happens here. Hall can play there. You think? Is that a question or you're suggesting? Okay, here is the link to Blue Cloud Media YouTube channel. Please go check it out. Be sure to let him know I sent you. With that, again, 25 likes, people. We should be doing better than that. If you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let me see. Who else should I add here? Conor Gallagher, maybe. Even, I think Mason Mount. He may decide to play Mason Mount that deep, really. I think, has he played Mason Mount there? That's not available. Mount there and see what people in the chat would say. So while we wait for them, Hakeem, we're going to come back to one of the 6s. Let's give them time. Those in the again in the chat, time to help us select the second 6. I think it may well come down to Zakaria. The 10 here, for me, I think it will be Kai Havertz, if anything, because I think of all the players we have, I think you could say he's the player that's better equipped to play 10, given his ability to hold up play, and again his ability to exploit even the slightest of spaces on the pitch. I think he's also I know Mount in a similar structure against Wolves. Wolves did play in the number 10 role, and he did quite well. But who do you think fits the number 10 role here? Again, Hakim. For me, I think it's the most flexible player to play this role. If it's going to be a hybrid approach, I think will most likely be Kai Havertz. What do you think, Hakim?
For me, I think Kai Havertz should play the 10, because who else can play the 10 with the lack of players that we have? But for me, for Kai Havertz, don't really regard him as like a game changer in Chelsea team at this moment. But with the lack of players that we have at the front and with the lack of creators that we have, yeah, I think he's the best player to play at the team. And um, with with how we are playing and other stuff, if like he can link up with Aubameyang like really well, then he has a chance to stay in this team. But apart from that, if he can't do anything with tomorrow's game, if he can't do anything to prove, like to convince Chelsea supporters or to convince Graham Potter, for me, like I think his time at Chelsea is done. But for me, I was like a main advocate for Kai Havertz. Like I was fighting people for Kai Havertz, and I think for this like, at this moment he's making it's like he's proving me wrong and proving the people that I was having issue with right. But I still have confidence in him, and if tomorrow he can do something, like I think this is his time for him to shine because there isn't any player anymore that we could fit in that position at this moment. So I think this is his chance, and he has to prove himself. But at the 10 row, I'll play Kai Havertz. Eddie?
Yeah, I
What do
lost
you
you there
think
for a
about
bit.
Kai? Yeah,
Sorry.
what do you think about what do you think about Kai Havertz at this position, at the 10th position?
Yeah, I think he should be able to play in the 10. I think he should be able to play in the 10. Yeah. So
Yeah, for
So,
me, I think
so
that is
Eddie,
the
you think Kai again? Of all the players who have, I think you could say he's the better equipped to play the number 10 role because of his link-up play and his ability to exploit spaces. And then Kai actually, we don't give him enough credit as to how good he is as to picking out players who make good runs, and he makes good runs himself. Go ahead, Eddie.
yeah, I think he will be Kai because if not Kai, then it should be Chukwuemeka. But I think he was going to go with Kai because Kai left the World Cup early, so I think he's ready. But I don't know. It depends on the manager. Would they want to swap? Would they want to push Kai to the left side and then maybe play Chukwuemeka? He plays Chukwuemeka on one side. But whatever, I say it should be Kai though. It should be Kai.
Yeah, I think it should be Kai Havertz centrally there. And let me look at the vote. Eddie, I'm going to meet you in a bit because of the feedback. So whenever you're ready to talk, you can unmute. Looking at, again, the poll, 12 votes, I think it's a good sample size. Who will partner Jorginho? Zakaria is the obvious choice. But again, from those, it remains to be seen. As Roger would say, Graham Potter is predictably unpredictable. Tomorrow, again, let's see how correct we are. Thomas Tuchel have predicted his lineup correctly at, again, majority of the times, but for Graham Potter, it's been pretty difficult because he's very, very unpredictable. So let's go with Zakaria there. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I thought he's going to be the one, but because he traditionally plays in that deep line midfield role, most people think it will be him. But I seriously doubt it will be him tomorrow. Here, I think, yeah, it makes sense to say Kai will play there, but also, again, one of the times we've played with this particular structure, even though it was a hybrid approach, it was Mason Mount that started centrally here as a 10. But because let's see, again, maybe we need to consult, those in the chat to see who plays in the 10th position to get what they think. Hakeem, I know you've spoken. I'm going to welcome Ty to the panel. Ty, how are you doing? Ty, to you, again, so far the lineup, but I'm going to go straight to asking you, who do you think starts in the number 10 position, given this structure? Again, you can say our argument, or you can say our thinking going with this structure is that it's easy to switch up again from a back three, from a back four to a back three. If James goes up here, you have Chalobah right center back, Koulibaly centrally, and Kukurea left center back. And if Kukurea goes on attack, And again, if we have issues here, Chalobah comes centrally, Koulibaly plays left centre back, and James right centre back. But your thoughts with selection so far, but where we're at is the number 10 role. Do you think Kai starts there? Do you think any other player starts there? And we're going to making case for the young players in the squad, but go ahead.
I would say that maybe it would be Kai Havertz. I think it may be Kai Havertz. I think um it would be the likely thing to do, considering that we do have a striker available. And I think based on what he was doing in the friendly game, I think perhaps that will
Oh, did you watch
get
the friendlies?
the me the friendly where he scored a hat trick.
Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead.
So I think in terms of that, and based on how he did in the World Cup, slightly, I think probably that in itself would help his case. And I think probably he's probably the best equipped in that position because, like you said, not only can the back line change if you change from a back four to a back three, but you can also change the attack, and that would also be that you could have a two-man striker role up there. So you'd have an Aubameyang and you have a Havertz that can be on the left or the right, and it alters because we have seen Aubameyang go wide, so it can always change the game. So I think perhaps Havertz would be the likely option there. And considering that we're not really sure about what's going to happen with Mason Mount, I don't really think there's much players that he can say plays in that position and can perhaps do it effectively, unless you choose to use a younger player.
Yeah, to me, I think Kai Havertz is the most equipped to fulfill that role very well. But again, I never know. I'm starting again to join the gang of people who believe then we're seeing a bit of English bias there. Maybe he decides to play Mason Mount centrally, but we'll see what happens. Let's see who the fans, again, those in the chat select. So you're okay with the 260s here? To me, I doubt if it's going to be Zakaria, given that. Again, I'm going to say this again. Graham Potter is not known to play with players because they're traditionally at 6. Usually, he prefers again a fluidity, not going with traditional 6s, which usually you don't get. Again, in most cases, you don't get fluidity from them or the types of combination play he likes to see in the midfield area. I doubt it's going to be Zakaria. I think he probably would most likely go with, again, someone like Gallagher there, but we don't know. This isn't easy because really we don't know where Chukwuemeka fits in the team. But we'll move on. A tie on the left-hand side. Who do you think starts on the left-hand side there?
Oh boy. I'd probably say that it'd probably be Pulisic. I I'm not really sure because I think in terms of that side, I think we're very limited, and I think when it comes on to that, we have to do with what we have, and I think Pulisic is probably the likely option, and I think probably that would be the only way you'd probably, if Sterling is gonna get an opportunity to start, that would be the only way you can accommodate them. And like I said, we don't really know what's gonna happen with Mason Mount. We don't know if he'll be risked. So I think we're gonna have to utilize both Pulisic and Sterling. So I would personally say Pulisic on the left.
Pulisic on the left. Ty, I know you know Omari Hutchinson very well.
Yeah, he
plays.
is.
He can play on both sides, right?
Yeah, he can. He
He
can.
can play on both sides.
Yeah, but he's
Eddie,
better on the left.
he's
Well,
better on the
that's what
left.
people say.
Okay, now, okay. Eddie, are you there?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Eddie, can you make a case of Omari Hutchinson starting over? I think we're getting the feedback from your. If your YouTube is on, you might want to turn it off a bit or use earpiece. Can you make a case for Omari Hutchinson starting over Christian Pulisic on the left-hand side?
No, not for this game. I don't think so.
For you.
No, not for this game. It's about results for this game, to be honest. More about getting the results than experimenting.
Yeah. How about you again, Hakeem? If you're there, can you make a case for Omari Hutchinson starting over Christian Pulisic on the left? Okay, it doesn't look. Hakeem, if you're there, whenever you join, again, you can make that case. Ty, are you able to make that case for him?
For Omari Hutchinson,
starting over Christian Pulisic.
The only thing that I can say that would probably give Omari Hutchinson an edge over Pulisic is the fact that he's able to withstand certain tackles, and I think in terms of Pulisic stumbles a lot, which is understandable. But when it comes down to Omari Hutchinson, he's quicker as well. So I think and I think perhaps that's the only thing I could probably use, because I'm not really sure of his finishing that much. I mean, he scored some powerful goals and he's taken some powerful shots, but I'm not really sure how adapted he would be to the Premier League just like that. But I think he has edges over Pulisic. He has more pace than him. He's able to dribble out of problems better than Pulisic would. So I think, and you'd still get creativity as well, because he knows how to create. So I think, I'm not sure if there's an ideal factor to say that he should play with, but he does have some things that Pulisic doesn't really have at the highest level.
Here's why I think, again, a few factors makes it seem as if he's going to make it seem as if he's going to start. The fact that he didn't travel, again, he trained with the team throughout, again, a month plus during the duration of the World Cup. Plus, Christian Pulisic went to the World Cup. He joined the camp again, but Omari Hutchinson has always been there. Plus, it doesn't seem as if Graham Potter sees him as a starter, except if in this case, and we still remember, we still have, what's his name, Raheem Sterling, really. So when we know how he played him, even when it was, again, when in the cases where when we realized that he tried 100 dribbles and got wrong 99.9% of the dribbles, he kept playing him. So even again, I don't think Christian Pulisic actually starts. I think he actually may well actually start Raheem Sterling on the left hand side. But we'll see what happens. I'll put up a poll to see what those in the chat think. Before I do that, let me quickly catch up with this, and I'll go to Hakeem to tell me again if he has a case for Omari Hutchinson starting over, Christian Pulisic and Raheem Sterling, because we omitted Raheem Sterling and we know how much this particular manager loves him. Again, if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Please, that helps the channel again reach more people. Here, Tiba Salifa says, I don't want any of that hideous German and English twin duo on the pitch. Mount and Kai have been non-productive this season and really can grind my gears. Here's the thing, there's a chance they're well rested now. Kai scored a hat-trick. Kai is a good player, and I've discussed in details reasons I think Mason Mount, people are seeing him as a bad player. As much as he's not the best at the club, he's not the worst at the club. He's a good player, but his biggest problem has been managers prioritizing his industry. Managers favoring his industry over the fact that he's still a young player, he's still developing. The fact that there are other aspects of his game that we can actually gain from. But for instance, Thomas Tuchel loved this industry so much that even when he's mentally tired, he kept fielding him, and that's because Mount, even when he's mentally tired, if you play him for 120 minutes, he still do a lot of running. The only thing that will show you that something isn't right is decision making. So again, unfortunately for him, managers hasn't really helped him in terms of developing him as a young player, because he's still just 23. they pay attention too much to the industry. And to me, that's dangerous, which means there's a chance he's not going to reach his potentials. That's why I said the other day, if I were Mount, actually, that is, if he recognized that has actually been a problem from Lampard to, what's his name, Thomas Tuchel, to even Graham Potter, they're playing him mainly because of his energy. To me, I'd leave the club and go to a manager who recognizes there are other aspects to my game that I need to develop and become a better player. But that's, by the way, in terms of Kai's again, the biggest problem he's had at Chelsea is lack of him not playing consistently in a particular position. And this is something I've also talked about before. You can say versatility. Why it makes a young player a good tool in the hands of a manager can be detrimental to that player's development. And in the case of Kai, it's been like that. He's played on the left, on the right, centrally as a second nine, as a lone nine, just because of his versatility, and that hasn't helped matters either. But that's, by the way, so good comment there. Let me see anything else to address. This is just conversation between people. Kai definitely starts after scoring 3 goals against Brentford last weekend. Again, against the strong side, if we're being honest. Pulisic displayed versus City and at the World Cup why he should be at 10. Again, he excellently dribbled through tight spaces from the 10 position while attacking the box, just as, again, Rice and Bellingham. Here's the thing. I know he attacks the box. In terms of chance creation, I don't think that's his strongest suit. One thing you get from me is that he will always get in the box and he's hardly offside. Again, if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Would I play him as a 10? I'd say no. Tiba Salifa, coach, don't try and sneak in Kai. Bro. Kai Prop, again, talking about being good at picking out, again, runners. Look up how many big chances he created in 2 seasons before dropping him for the 10 role. Here's the thing. That's not, again, to me, maybe I'm being a bit biased because he's the player I love so much. Maybe, again, we'll see what happens, really. But, again, those in the chat spoke, and he got the most percentage there. So, yeah, that's why I'm plugging him there. Did Pulisic feature in the friendlies? I don't remember I didn't watch that. Omari may be in as a sub. Yeah, again, even as there's an argument for Omari Hutchinson to start, given that he's worked the manager throughout the duration of the World Cup and how good it is and how highly Graham Potter have spoken of him too. There's an argument that he starts over those 2 players, but I don't see him starting over Christian Pulisic and Raheem Sterling. It's very difficult. And like Bobby said, it looks like, again, as if Graham Potter is playing a bit of politics. He's trying not to upset the experienced players because that's a risk for him. Now Pulisic has to be on the left. Okay, we'll see. I'll put up a poll. Hutchinson on the right, maybe though. But knowing Potter, I don't see him. Yep, I don't see him starting him. He prefers experience probably. Omari has a high chance of playing, not starting. I see as a case to prove. Again, you and I would believe. I think, yeah, again, he probably will come out from the bench. That is if we're winning. If we're winning, and also if we're losing, he may well bring him on to see if he can help change things. Because he's different from all the players we have. All the attacking players we have. Omari Hutchinson is very different. Is that player who's capable of pulling a rabbit out of the hat to help us win a game. He has that magic in him. Omari has a high chance. Yep, I've read that one. Merry Christmas to you, Glenn. And please, if you're watching, don't forget, we'll do a $50 giveaway to complete the Roman Abramovich again, to give away all the Roman Abramovich tribute contest budget because the contest didn't happen. I'm giving away, again, the budget for it. We've given out $100. We still have $50 more to do today, again, so it's complete. So, again, soon we'll do that. Once we're done completing the lineup, we'll do that. Merry Xmas to you too, Glenn. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. Suzanne Gison, Bandia Sheila, here we go. Really? I didn't know that. He's a player I like, but probably because he's coming cheaper, a lot less cheaper than Vardio. And plus that Vardio, his performance at the World Cup, a lot of people, again, don't value him just like most people don't value Datro Fofana because we paid just 10 million euros for him. But I think Bandia Sheila, again, he's a good player. We scouted him. I think we considered him on the Thomas Tuchel when we were looking for defender. But well, let's see what happens. Merry Christmas to you, Susan Gisson. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. Don't think Omari is getting a lot of minutes this season. Lads, again, would be great if it did. To me, again, since it's a process, since we've agreed it's going to be painful, it's going to be long, why not give him a chance? Why not give him a chance? It wouldn't hurt to give him a chance. But that's, by the way, coming to you, Hakeem. Make a case for Omari Hutchinson starting over Christian Pulisic and who else again did we talk about there? Christian Pulisic and Raheem Sterling. If you feel like, again, that's a case for him to start, really.
For me, I feel like the best player under Graham Potter is Christian Pulisic, because when you watch since Graham Potter took over, one of the players that has performed really well under him is Christian Pulisic. But the problem with Graham Potter is he hardly reward players when they are performing. When a player performs, this is where people talk about the bias of English players. A player like Hakim Ziyech, whenever he comes inside, like he performs and then he doesn't get reward. And Thomas Tuchel, that is why he also got fed up and he doesn't put his heart in it. So for me, I feel like the best player should start at the left side should be Christian Pulisic. But with Hutchinson, for me, I think we have to watch how Guardiola, used Foden. How he integrated him in the team slowly. He didn't just push him for him. He didn't just push him inside the team, because when you push a young player inside the team and he performed really good, then all the fans would like you to be using him day in, day out. And when he makes mistakes, and all the fans will start attacking him because he's still young players. Because fans sometimes forget the age of the players. They just attack players based on their performance, because this is the same thing. This is what is happening to Mason Mount. For me, I feel like we have to integrate him inside the team slowly. We shouldn't rush him inside the team till he'll build the confidence, till he's matured enough to knows how to make some decisions. I think experience is also a key here. We have to make sure that he gather enough experience, and then we can start him as a regular. But for now, I think the best thing is to integrate him inside the team slowly, like let's say 20 minutes. I know he's good. I know he can make changes, but for the player's sake, for the well-being of the player, we have to integrate him inside the team. Yeah, he also would like to play, because every player wants to play and improve. But he's young. This is why you are a coach. You have to sit down with him and talk to him that, hey, listen, this is what football is. If you go inside and you don't perform, the players will eat you alive, like what they did to Musanda. He was also pushing for Antonio Conte to put him inside. He even made a post, and when he was putting inside, he couldn't perform. He didn't deliver, even though he had the potential. So for me, the best thing for the player and the well-being of the player is we should integrate him inside the team slowly. We shouldn't rush him. But for the left wing back, I'll use Christian Pulisic any day. I don't see the reason why we should put Raheem inside this team. The best person at the right wing for me should be a Christian Pulisic.
Here's the thing. I'm going to say this. As much as, again, we know, everybody, again, most people, those that are truthful, again, all know that Christian Pulisic has been in better form than Raheem Sterling. Even before the World Cup, even during the World Cup, Christian Pulisic did well at the World Cup than Raheem Sterling did. I still think Graham Potter, I'd be surprised if Raheem Sterling didn't start in the left wing position. But let's see what happens. And I want to, again, get those in the chat involved. I have a poll. As it is right now, Raheem Sterling is still leading, and I think that's what's going to happen. If anything, as much as, there's an argument for Omari Hutchinson to start, I think his introduction into the team will be a gradual process. Like I mentioned the other day, there's something about young players. I'm going to keep saying it because it is the fact. You need to show them that you have to earn your place. You don't want them to start feeling like that they've arrived. And when that's the case, they stop working hard. So if you take it gradual, they understand there's still work to do. Make them still make them retain that hunger as long as possible, no matter how well they're doing. It will help them. Otherwise, again, you will see them start faltering. But that's, by the way, I'm going to go to the right, and I don't know if Ty is there. I'm going to leave the left wing position. Again, I said this right now. I'm not going to fill it until I get more sample size from those in the chat. Again, if you're joining, if you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Ty, are you there for the right wing position? Or who do you think starts? We have Ziyech likes to play there. Mason Mount can play there. Conor Gallagher can play there. And again, the three of them. Your thoughts, Ty? Who do you think starts in the right wing position? If you're there, I know you usually can at work or something. Okay, you're available. Okay, go ahead, Ty. Who do you think starts in the right wing position?
The thing is, I'm not really sure if what I heard is actually the truth, because there was this belief where we were hearing that both Kovacic was getting a break because of that extra match that he played in terms of the third place, fourth place. I'm not sure if it applies to Ziyech as well, but I think Graham Potter so far hasn't really given Ziyech that much of an opportunity. He's played him, I think, probably once or twice. Well, I think it may be. I think it may be Ziyech. I'm not sure if he's available for the game, because I didn't really.
I'm not sure. He's not available for.
No, yeah, he's not. Again, you're very correct, Ty. We even looked at it. Let's just quickly let me show you. We even looked at it before, but thank you for mentioning that he's not available. Really, I don't know what was I thinking. Look at all the players that aren't available here.
Like I
Wesley
said,
Fofana, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, N'Golo Kante, Mateo Kovacic, Hakim Ziyech. Personal reason, but we'll know because of, again, it comes down to how far they went. Again, how well they did at the World Cup. They played he played more games, so he's on break. He's on holiday. So Ty, thank you for reminding me that. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. So in terms of that means that limits the options, or well, not the options, the players that you can choose between, and therefore I think now that I give it more thought, I think this could be a game where we see some young players play as well, because considering the fact that we're gonna have some of these players are in the first team limited because of whether injury, recovering from injury, or obviously holiday because of how far they went to the World Cup. I think we will be forced to play them, not only start but play them. And I think perhaps this could be a situation where I don't know, probably Omari Hutchinson does end up playing, because I think in terms of that we have Pulisic, if I'm not wrong, and I still believe that Pulisic is better on the left, and I think he'll be better to play Omari Hutchinson.
So you strongly believe Pulisic will start? You strongly believe Pulisic will start over again Raheem Sterling?
I would prefer it, and I would hope that happens, because Pulisic, I have not seen Pulisic take the ball out of play, so I don't really think that it's something that deserves much of a debate. I think it should be the case. I'm hoping that what I said about bias was just some coincidence, because I think Pulisic, when he plays, offers more than what Sterling has been offering on the Potter. So I think that could be the case.
Yeah, I still do think, again, for me, I recognize that he's been in better form than Raheem Sterling. But what's the ground Potter, he's proven that he doesn't reward performance. So it remains to be seen what he does. Eddie, how about you? The right hand side, the right wing position. Who do you think is there?
The right side. I say obviously he's gonna go with Sterling. That's just my take.
Go ahead.
I say he's gonna go with Sterling. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the same too, because he's again. Why that is, I don't know, but we'll see what happens. Let's see what those in the chat what they select. Yeah, let's see what they select. Maybe so far it is again a 43% Christian Pulisic, Raheem Sterling 29%, Omari Hutchinson 29%. Yeah, people are just again they're not really they're not picking Christian Pulisic because it's in a better form. They're probably picking Christian Pulisic because they're picking it because it's in a better form, but not paying attention to what they believe Graham Potter would do. I still think Graham Potter will most likely start Raheem Sterling, but let's see what he does. Again, let's see what he does. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat here again. Fab posted in Insta checkout. Oh, okay, excellent. We'll talk about him in a bit. Hi, Glenn. This is people having conversation. Yep. Let's see anything else. Injury FC says Glenn. That's it again. Nearly a squad on its own. Yep. All good, Glenn. Again, don't touch alcohol. Any more good advice? Have to go now and chat letter, everyone. Yes, brother, enjoy your time with your family. Much love from here. Again, I wish, again, we live close by. Would have, again, taken some time to go have a bottle or two. Yeah, again, because you've been great. And again, very helpful to the Chelsea Perspective community. See you, Liam. Take care. Okay, thank you very much for voting. Do you think Ziyech is waiting for the general transfer window or personal issues? No, a lot of them say personal issues. If we pay attention here, for being honest, it's not just him. If you look at it, all the players that are on break because of their participation in the World Cup, it all says again personal issues. It says personal issue for Mateo Kovacic, personal issue for Hakim Ziyech. I think there's one more personal issue. No, just those two, but it's just because of their participation in the World Cup, really. Thanks again for the spots. Again, if you haven't, go check out Blue Clouds Media YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. And we have just 35 likes. We should be doing better than that. I think, okay, those in the chat think Christian Pulisic start. So I'm going to just end that poll because I want to ask a question for the left-hand side. For you, Hakeem, who start again right-hand side, so to speak, who do you think starts in the right wing position?
Yeah, for me, I think the right wing position it will be Raheem Sterling. If I choose
if Pulisic is on the left,
then I think Raheem Sterling will start at the right. And I think also this is also a good thing because we don't have lots of players for the coach to have headache to make substitutes. So this game will also let the coach have limited amount of players. So I think he will introduce also some players in this game. With the limited amount of players that we have, this is when we are all going to see Zakaria playing, and then Omar Hutchinson also getting a play time in this with this team. I don't see him starting using Mason Mount at the left wings or using Conor Gallagher at the left wings. I think if he really wants to win this game and if he really wants to have like a really good approach to this game, he has to use like players who are capable of playing at a particular position in their positions. That is Raheem Sterling at the wings, at the right wing, and then Pulisic at the left wing. So for me, these are the two players that I'm going to choose at the wings. I'll even choose to start Omar Hutchinson at the wings than to start either Conor Gallagher or Mason Mount at the wings.
Here's the thing. If we've already again placed plugged in a Pulisic on the left hand side, there's no way again Mason Mount doesn't start tomorrow, except if he's still out injured. But he's recovered. He resumed training. It was a slight injury. It wasn't that serious. I'm still going to say that there's no way Graham Potter will not select Mason Mount tomorrow. I think he selects him no matter what happens, really. Like I said, again, he values the energy he brings to the team. And without Mason Mount there, or at least Conor Gallagher up here, I think we'll struggle to press very well here, or press. Kai Havertz pressed very well on his day, but he tires out again at some point in the game. But if you don't have, again, for Conor Gallagher and Mason Mount, they both press, even if the game is played for 120 minutes. And so there's no way this 11 will be complete tomorrow without, again, that's from a Graham Potter's perspective, without Conor Gallagher or Mason Mount being on the pitch. Eddie, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. It'll be hard if he doesn't play Mason Mount. It'll be hard for him not to play Mason Mount. But I don't agree with that anyway, because one, Mason Mount is not too fit, so that should be a good reason not to even start him. But knowing Potter for who he is, he's just going to start Mason Mount. I think it should be both flanks should be Pulisic and Raheem Sterling. That's what I think it should go with. Christian Pulisic should start.
It's going to be on the left.
Yeah, Pulisic on the left and then Sterling on the right. Yeah.
Yeah, is Sterling one of the options? Yeah, Sterling is one of the options. Gallagher and Mount. So let's see. One vote so far. I'll give them time to see for them to pick that one. Here, most likely, again, there's no options. Coach, we have just Aubameyang. Go ahead.
I want to add something. Let's not forget that Reece James is back. You understand? Let's not forget that. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Let's not forget, because it's been a while that he has played for us. So we kind of think that we are the same team that we used to lose. Like Reece James is inside and he brings different kind of dynamic to this team. So I think people also have to bring their mind to it that Reece James is in this team, because people seems to forget that he is, even though his name is there, they seems to forget. They still think that this is the same team that we used to lose. We used to lose before. I think this is kind of little bit twist to it, and I think for me, I'm really confident in this game. I'll tell you, I'm 80% sure that we are going to win this game because of Reece James, and we know what he can do. We know his capability. For me, I've seen Reece James single-handle, a team. So this is how confident I am with this, with him in this team. The people that keep on saying, "Oh, we are not sure," like whenever they say that, remind them that, listen, they should check the defense. There is somebody that used to make difference in our team. He is back. I think people like they forgot, or they haven't put in their mind there.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, really. Ty, what do you think about the right hand side? If we plug in that one, then we'll do the giveaway, and probably the last update on what we have on the screen. We'll talk about the update and we'll call it a day. I know the match already started, actually. Probably the into the second half right now. But Ty, if you stood there, your thoughts, the right wing position, who do you think starts there?
If we just started on the left, I think I think Potter's gonna do it. I think it's gonna have to be Sterling.
So you think you will see an 11 without Mason Mount or Conor Gallagher, the two guys who provide them with that running he wants again, and again, I'm pressing.
I forgot about Gallagher.
Yeah, so to me, that's why I'm saying, you see that Christian Pulisic starts on the left or Raheem Sterling starts on the left. I don't think he will start them both, because we don't have, again, in terms of pressing, we're not going to see that from this 1, 2, 3, 4 players here. Kai Havertz, again, you could say is of all these players, is the player that can press and press very well, but he tires out easily. That's why I'm arguing. I don't see this 1, 2, 3, 4 players starting again closer to the final third without at least Mason Mount or Conor Gallagher being there. But go ahead with what you were saying.
I forgot about Gallagher. I think Gallagher is the better cross off the ball. If it's a case where you have Mason Mount or Gallagher, I think Gallagher will be more effective in that position. We've seen what he can do when he's more advanced rather than being defensively. When he's given a defensive role to do, I think that is a better role for him. So I would have to say Gallagher then, because we like you said, we do need that energy. We need somebody that will actually try to progress the ball forward, and I don't think any of those players are really equipped with it. Probably Pulisic can claim the ball and then try to run, but but he's not really strong in that area. So I think probably Gallagher is there. I'm not really sure about Mason Mount's fitness because, like I said, I haven't really followed up with the team news and everything, so I'm not really sure.
Mhm.
But I think based on the one that is I haven't heard that is suffering with any fitness issues. I think probably Gallagher will be the more ideal option, and then for precautionary reasons, you probably can bring on Mason Mount if he's indeed available.
Yeah. The truth is, again, we're not sure whether
Yeah,
Mason Mount.
Sorry, but
Go
but
ahead.
as much as as much as I want to talk about Mason Mount, we should remember Mason Mount. Except if Potter is only just trying to, or that's how most other managers have been doing. Mason Mount is not a winger. So if we're talking of wingers, it should be Pulisic or Sterling. And then if he needs to play
exactly,
Mason
this
Mount
is
for
what
any
I'm
reason,
saying.
No, but with this structure, this is not. Let's say again, I level the winger. With this structure, they're not really not the approach. The application isn't really the same as a traditional winger. Really, it's more like playing 3 CMs there.
But if I should add something, to this is like playing Reece James and as a wing back also can give Raheem Sterling a free role because the opponent knows the danger Reece James brings to the team. So when you watch
but this
previous
lineup,
games,
but this lineup is flat back four. It's not.
Yeah, I know
a
it's
hybrid approach. Like, the reason I chose this structure is that again a few days ago we learned that again they're practicing a hybrid approach of switching between a flat back, again a back four and a back three. Yeah, so they're practicing that, and that's his thing. That's how Potter operates. So with this structure, really 4-2-3-1 structure, the two guys leveled wingers again. They don't operate as wingers because in attack, these guys will have this space. The wing, the right back and the left back will have this space, and these guys will drift in. You get either to overload the midfield or the attacking area. So the application is really different. I'm just using the right wing label just to make it easier for those in the chat to understand. But go ahead.
Well, all right, but which means Pulisic is not going to start. Then he's not going to start Pulisic. It's going to be Mason Mount and Sterling. So Pulisic is not going to start. Yeah, that's what he's going to do.
So who says again of the two? We know again that we're not going to change what those in the chat voted for. So if you're saying it's going to be Pulisic and Sterling, who's on the left and who's on the right?
No, I said if it's this hybrid approach that he's going to use, then which means Pulisic is not going to start. He's going to play Mason Mount and Sterling, and then Kai Havertz.
For me, if any player will start over any player in this team, I think it will be Kai Havertz might sit at the bench. But if there's
a chance that happens, and Mason Mount will play centrally as a 10.
Yeah, this is for me. I think maybe Kai Havertz might sit at the bench or Pulisic. Like these are the two. But I'm not seeing Raheem Sterling starting from the bench. I think you use Raheem Sterling from the bench. Like you use Raheem Sterling. But then if also the way if we're going to play it in hybrid, then I think it's also safe to use Mason Mount or Conor Gallagher at the flanks. Because but if we want to play it as a flat back, then I think we have to use real wingers. But if it's hybrid, then of course we can go for Conor Gallagher or Mason Mount in one of the flanks.
Yeah, I say this again because it's a hybrid approach. That's why we have Cucurella. But again, plus what's his name? The fact again, what's his name? Ben Chilwell, did he go to the World Cup?
No.
Excuse me. Yeah, so there's a chance actually he's the one that's starting here. But that's, by the way, we're not sure what Graham Potter is going to do. Both of them did not go, but Ben was injured, so Cucurella stands more chance to start.
No, he wasn't injured. He wasn't injured before the World Cup. He was.
But he just returned from injury.
Yeah, he returned from injury, but of course the coach cannot cannot take him to the World Cup. He returned from injury before the World Cup.
So, which means again, if you're talking about fitness, Cucurella will be fitter than him at this point. Let me catch up with the chat here. Glenn says again, if you have a Pulisic, Sterling, and Ziyech available, why not play them all three and put Kai up front with Ziyech behind him? I don't know if Glenn, I don't know if Graham Potter sees Ziyech as a traditional 10. And for Morocco, did he play as 10? I wasn't paying attention really.
Ziyech?
Yeah.
No, he never played at 10.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't see.
He played at right wing.
Yeah, so I don't see again, and that's where he likes to stay. Actually, again, even when he plays centrally, he likes to drift to the right. Yeah, so I don't see that happening at Chelsea.
His playing is more of him being on the right and then coming central to cross the ball or do something like that.
Yeah.
For me, the other position that I think Ziyech can play is maybe in the midfield because it's really, I think he's the better passer on the, like he's in this Chelsea team. I think he's the better passer. So if you are going to use Ziyech in any other position, it should be in the midfield. And there's some people don't also regard him. He's really good defensively. And that Thomas Tuchel, he started tracking back. He was doing a lot of hard work. But the reason why the reason why he lost interest is lack of game time. I think he sees that even if he kills himself, he still wouldn't be rewarded. So that is when he started losing. His interest. But then,
yeah. Here's the thing. I'm going to say this about our selection here. As much as again we're going with what again because they say majority carries the vote and it's democracy here. Here's the thing. I don't think will happen tomorrow. I don't see Pulisic and Sterling starting in this particular game. It's either of the two. I don't see two of them starting. I still don't see Zakaria starting here. I think Graham Potter, I don't see him starting here, maybe in a cup game, but in this game, I don't see him starting this guy here. I think he prefers, again, a player who's more of a CM than a DM. But people are picking Zakaria because they're looking for protection for the back three or back four. But that's by the way, again, we have the lineup completed and we're going to do the giveaway right now. So again, if you're watching, if you want to participate in the giveaway, you get to win $50. If you're on the panel also, you can also participate. Like I said, I've explained why we're doing this. The $150 in total, because we've given away $100, is a budget, which was, again, allotted for the Roman Abramovich Tribute Contest. I got ill advice to postpone it. I did. And again, when I wanted to do it, because I really wanted to do it, the contestants weren't responsive. So I decided, okay, maybe use it again for Christmas, the festive period, break it into three and use it as giveaway for the loyal, again, followers of the community, members of the community. So if you're watching, it's simple, just like we did yesterday. It's thank you, Roman. Each word starting with a capital letter. And if you're on the panel, if you want to participate, again, go ahead, take your time, type thank you, Roman, like this. Yep, thank you, Roman. So I'm going to put this in the chat so those that are watching will see what it is when I get to it. I'll wait for you to, again, put your entry there so you get a chance to win $50. And you get the $50 as soon as, again, around 3-4 hours at most. Except if I slept off, then when I wake up, if you have your if via Twitter, if you use Cash App, it's easier for me. PayPal, excellent. And then we get it done in as soon as a few hours. So let's see what we have in the chat here. Again, if you have a Pulisic, Sterling, and Ziyech available, why not play them all three? I've read that one. It's Carney again. I hope you enjoyed your Christmas. This is morning, everyone. I hope we all had a good Christmas. I enjoyed my Christmas, and I'm thankful. Again, I recovered it to an acceptable measure before Christmas because, it was awful 2 weeks or so. Everyone in my household was sick. So it's kind of nice to see you, and I hope you had a good birthday. You told us the other day it was your birthday. Nice to see you. Bernard Mazzala, I hope you're all well. I hope you're well too, Bernard Mazzala. And thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. If you haven't, drop a like on the stream, excuse me for the cough, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. On the wing, he always cuts back to his left. Behind the striker, he could do some damage with his passing ability, in my opinion. I know he's one of the best passers. Again, he's the best passer, again, by far, best passer of the ball in the team. In terms of shooting, he's the best too. His vision, you can say, is one of the best in the team too. But the truth remains, he hasn't played centrally in a while. He's better deployed on the right. And plus, if you're being honest, Ziyech operates with space. As much as I love him, I know the quality he brings in his space, again, to do well. But that to be effective, if you want to phrase it that way. So now this is what you type. You type, thank you, Roman, to get a chance to win $50. Again, we've given away $100 in the last past two streams. So the last one today said, again, maybe I'll decide if I'm going to do one for New Year. So this is what you type. Thank you, Roman. I'll wait for you. I'll wait for your entry. We'll have just 2 entries. If you're on the panel, Ty, if you want to participate, AD sent to you. And Hakeem, if you want to participate, go ahead, go type. Thank you, hashtag thank you, Roman, in the chat so you get a chance to win it. Here again, we'll have one person, just one person. Considering entering the giveaway to do a $50 super chat letter later on. Yeah, I like that. So if you're watching, if you haven't, and you want to participate in the giveaway, just type thank you, Roman, hashtag thank you, Roman. I'll wait for those in the chat to do so. To see if someone else wants to join quickly, let me take care of all the updates we have here. Then I'll come back to the giveaway and we'll call it a day. I think it looks like it's going to be just one person this time. Where's my screen? I want to show some updates that was shared with me by AD and also AD and also Liam Lane. Yeah, as always, Liam Lane always helping me again stay up to date on what's going on. 2 updates here, this one and that one, and this one here. Okay, I sent it. And this update here, isn't this the same? Or is it the same thing? Just 1 second. Is it the same? Is it the same thing? Well, what am I using here? Just give me a second. I wanted to find something. I'm missing one from Fabrizio Romano. I think that's the same thing. This particular person is stuck in here. Fabrizio Romano. It's my search. Okay, let's see what we have. We have again something about Bandia Chile. Yeah, I think this is pretty much the same thing we have there. So I'm going to read the song, that one from Fabrizio Romano. I'm going to close this one. Not important, really. So because that one is literally quoting what's his name? Quoting Fabrizio Romano, which I already have open here. So 1 second, I'm going to do this quickly. After that, we'll call it a day. I think for me, I think it's been an enjoyable show, really.
I just want to tell you, Tottenham is losing.
Oh, they're losing. By how many goals?
1.
Okay, they can still come back. It's an Antonio Conte team, so he changes them until the game ends. Just quickly, it looks like my screen is frozen. I'm gonna go F11 to maximize. Yeah. So this one talks about again. This also further debunks again something the Twitter journalists they're sharing out there. This one says Chelsea prioritizing a striker and a center back in January. A midfielder is also a possibility, while the club are already looking at who could operate as a backup to Reece James, a right wing back. They are in the market for a new goalkeeper too. I don't like, again, the fact that they're using the word backup, which means they're thinking, okay, we're just gonna get a player that stays on the bench and only gets to play when Reece James gets injured, which means the player that's coming in is not as good as Reece James. So we need competition for Reece James, not backup, really. Let's see. Again, I RT'd on Twitter, but I think a lot of people muted me by now. That again, World Cup didn't do me any good. Yeah, because you're Belgium, probably. The Belgium golden era is done. Give away time, bro. Money, money, money. Yeah, let's do it. So let me open the giveaway page so we can get it done. And then I want to ask it, anybody who wants to make a case for Carney Chukwuemeka. I think we'll see him tomorrow. Maybe not. He's not going to start, but probably from the bench. Let me see. Where's the giveaway tool? Is it? Thank you, Roman. Start collecting. I'm not going to waste too much time on it. Okay. 3 people. I think I'm the third person. So I think I'm going to go ahead and draw it. Whoever wins, except if it ends up being me, I will redo the draw. Here again, Wally Waldo says, I'm actually shocked that Belgium are still in the top 5 in the World Cup. I don't know how that ranking, the criteria for that ranking, it shocks me every time I pay attention to it. Waldo, if you want to participate in the draw, just type this. I'm going to give you a second to try to type this. Type, thank you, Roman. H was starting with a capital letter, so you get a chance to win $50. Just quickly, let me ask you this. AD is not there. Again, how about Akeem? Again, are you able to, can you make a case for Carney Chukwuemeka starting? If for me, I think he would see him tomorrow, but maybe not as a starter. I don't know. Also, you could say there's a chance that he starts, given the fact, again, he's that a month, the duration of the World Cup, to train with Graham Potter. So, your thoughts? Do you think he starts? For me, I don't think so.
For me, I don't think he starts, but when you look at his physique and when you look at how good he is on the ball, I think he's way mature than his age, and he's really he's built for the for English Premier League. So I think he's one of the players that we are not going to let him go on loan for anything. I think if any player will be integrated in this team faster enough, would be Chukwuemeka, but I don't think he's starting this team. And I want to ask you, I thought Ivan Toney is banned for some games, but here is him playing.
Oh, I'm not sure about his suspension. If he's playing, which means he wasn't suspended. Yeah, I've read that one there. You and me both again talking to Wally Waldo. Who thinks Tottenham wins? They can still win. We're talking about an Antonio Conte team, which means
I'm not sure because I'm watching the game and Brentford is battering them up and down. Like they are not doing anything.
Yeah, that changes. That can still change.
You should remember this game? But it's almost 45 minutes. Like the first half is done, but you should remember this Brentford team. Like they are not slouch. Like they are really good on and off the ball. I'm not seeing them doing anything here. I think if anything, Brentford have the chance to
look at the last updates we have, and we can call.
Yeah.
And I also saw something. I was reading something on Mirror. I don't know how trustworthy is are the Mirrors. They said Graham Potter was called for a meeting by Todd Bowley and other Chelsea the Chelsea handlers.
Yeah, here's the thing. I've read that. If again the meeting was just to assure him of his job security, that he's here for the long term. He has the time to fix things. But that's by the way. I'm gonna do the draw anyway. Let's see who wins this one. So we'll go into looking at the final updates we'll have and call it a day. I hope if I win it, I will do the draw again. Okay, congratulations, Wally Waldo. If you live in the US, it's easier. If you use Cash App, you get your money as soon as the show is done. Just message me via Twitter, show me your Cash App ID. If not, if you use PayPal, good. As long as you have a working PayPal, you get your cash prize as soon as 3 to 4 hours or even less than, or maybe immediately after the show. I'm not sure I'll be going to bed because I have again a pre-game show in around 3 hours or so. But that's by the way. Congratulations to you again. Reach me via Twitter. It is at Chelsea Perspective. Chelsea Perspective. I will accept your message and we'll see your preferred way of getting that. Wow, yeah. Congratulations to you. Where's Waldo? He's there in the chat. Congrats. Let's do this. What else? I wanted to look at the updates we have here. This is the lineup. We picked. We'll come back to that in a bit. Where's that update window? Is it this one here? Yep, I think it's this one here. We've read again what Simon Phillips says here. And this one is from Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea are in advanced talks to sign Benoit Badiashile from AS Monaco as new centre-back. Official proposal has been submitted. Negotiations now in progress. Chelsea have seeking fee discussed around 35 to 40 million euros, which is cheap. With hope to get it done soon. Again, first call, David Austin was the first person that talked about it. Talks will continue. Go ahead.
For me, to tell you the truth, I'm really excited by this chap. Like, to tell you, I don't know anything about him. After I read the news, like, I went on and watched him. And one thing about me, if I'm watching a player, I mostly go and find like their full game. I can't watch like I don't really go and watch pieces of their performance. I mostly go and find a full game and watch and see how they are. And I don't also watch recent games. I watch like 2 years game before today, or let's say 3 years game before today, like before this year. So I watched one of his game versus one, I think Nancy or one of these teams, and I'm really impressed with his performance.
He's an intelligent player.
Yeah, he's really intelligent, and he's really. Yeah. I think he's really good going forward with his height. You know, I'm really surprised how and the way he turns like his sight. And one thing that is really good about him is his crosses. His crosses and his long passes are perfect. So for me, I'm really excited. Even though I'll prefer Gavadio over him, but I think if we don't get, he's also I think 19 years old. So it's all good for the project, and I'm really good about our squad, our scouting. And someone also said, he said to go and buy player 100 euros has nothing to do with scouting. To go and buy player like 70 euros also has nothing to do with scouting, because these are players that every team wants. So if you go for a player that nobody wants and the player ended up being a really good player, this is what we call like really good scouting. So for me, I'm really happy. If we are able to bring him to Chelsea, I'll be really excited. Like I'll be really happy.
Like I said, he's a very, very intelligent player. I've seen his games. Again, one thing I pay attention to defenders, especially central defenders. For instance, Koundé during the World Cup, I think Ty did one of the watch-alongs with me, where I was screaming how poor he was. Again, you can say 70% at least 60% of the time, when he knocks the ball, when he heads the ball out, it usually lands to the opponent. If you watch this guy's highlights, when he heads the ball, majority of the times it lands to his teammates, which means, again, he pays attention to where he's heading the ball to. He's not just clearing it again and then risking opposition players getting the ball and coming back at the team. Plus, he's good at carrying the ball. He's technically, he's good on the ball. Again, overall, let me just say he's an intelligent player, and I want him. And this is not, again, we didn't just start looking at him, really. We wanted to sign him under Thomas Tuchel when we were looking at a couple of options. He was one of those players we were looking at. And for me, yes, I'm happy. We should get him and forget about Vardio. Is too expensive for me, really.
Yeah. The reason why I was also doing my investigation. The reason why we didn't get him under Tuchel was because of Sarr. We had Sarr, so we think Sarr will be a player like him. And when I was looking at this player, this is the player that I want. This is the player that I wanted Sarr to be. This is the player that I picture Sarr to be. But then, Sarr couldn't lead couldn't lead to my expectation. Excuse me, my English is really. I'm from English speaking country, but it's just that.
Bro, I understand you quite well.
I've been speaking like German lately, so my English is not really.
No. Listen, you're communicating quite well, and I do understand everything you're saying. It happens to me too. English isn't my first language. But again, a lot of people are like that. So go ahead. And this is your first time on the panel too.
Yeah. So This is the player that he has everything that I wish Sa could have been, but then Sa couldn't live up to the expectations. So for me, I'm really happy that we are going to get this player, and I don't see any team challenging us with him. So I'm not sure Real Madrid will step in, but then I want us to, even if you buy him 40 million, like I don't see us losing. He's like he's the perfect suit for Chelsea.
Yeah, and he's tall too, and we lack
Yeah,
height
he's tall.
in the team, so it makes sense to get him. But that's, by the way, again, Wally Waldo here says again, give it to a charity of your choice. Wow, that melts my heart. Again, here's the thing, I like it when people do this, but I really would have wanted you to take it because you're an OG here. You love the channel so much, you're a mod, you've helped so much. But if that's what you want me to do, Glenn did the same thing, and I will never forget that. But thank you for that. I would do that, and I'll let you know what charity again that I donated to. Again, congratulations, Waldo, says Blue Cloud Media. If you haven't, go check out his YouTube channel. And Ty, you should share the link to your channel in a bit so that people can check it. And as you can see, we have also a baby panelist here speaking their mind. And I hope you're paying attention to what the baby is saying. So again, thank you so much, guys, for understanding and also again finding the time to join the show. If you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Wally Waldo, that will be sports transfer chest. That's where Glenn wants us to donate the money to help Tottenham sign more players. It's crazy how much they spent building their stadium. But Daniel Levy, in terms of signing players, I think it's a bit, I don't know how to define him really. I don't think he likes to spend. But that's, by the way, Ty, your thoughts on Badia Shile. Again, are you okay with us forfeiting the pursuit of Vardiol and signing him? Again, to me, most people will think Vardiol is a better player because of how much we're paying for him. Because this guy, again, we didn't see this guy at the World Cup because he's just playing at Monaco. Even at Monaco, he's been an excellent, again, player for them. So, Ty, your thoughts if you're still there. If not, we'll call it a day so we can go watch the game.
He is an excellent player, cheaper. And yes, I'll have to say that he's not at the same caliber in many people's perspective as Guardiola. But I personally would have said that I would take him. I mean, we've been linked with him. I think we were linked with him in the summer, correct?
Yeah, in the summer, yeah.
And I think that was something that was ongoing. I think there was discussions that were going on. And I think at the time it wasn't possible because I don't think they wanted to lose him at that time. Mm-hmm. So I think it would be simpler to get him, but I don't think the pursuit of Guardiola is over.
But you think it will still get him and still get Vardio?
I've already said too much. I'm just gonna simply say that I like Badishile. He's a good player. He's very attentive. He's similar to Vardio. You know, he can be aggressive. He can win the ball back, and you know, on your real occasions, you never know. You can take a shot and score. So. I think it would be a good buy, and I love that we're doing these things behind the scenes rather than it being publicized as much as we've seen in the past. Well, I'm happy that it's in advanced talks, and it looks as if it could happen if there's a fee agreed.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get it done, and he's a player I like so much. I hope that happens. Guys, again, with that, we've come to the end of the show. I will stay and talk with Ty just for a minute or two, so we'll go watch the game, and for me to get ready for the Arsenal. Is it the Arsenal game? Which one? I think it's the Liverpool pre-game show on Soccer Perspective. Again, if you haven't, please take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, we gained a few subscribers today. We're currently at 6,915 subscribers. Just very soon we'll be hitting 7,000 subscribers, even though we haven't streamed in a while, consistently in a while. So yeah, Ty, Thank you so much. Wally Wood says, I don't normally enter giveaway, to be honest, coach. Again, plus I am from the UK and don't use Cash App and PayPal. Again, whatever money comes from abroad, they take a certain percentage. Yeah, I remember that. They take a certain percentage. Again, if you still want it, just reach out. But again, I'm glad, again, if you still persist that I should donate it to, a charity of my choice. Okay, I have one and I'll donate it to it. But again, thank you so much. But more importantly, I appreciate you being part of the Chelsea Perspective community. That means a lot to me. So I'm going to say thank you to Wally Waldo. Thank you. Again, here's the link to TyTalks YouTube channel. Wally Waldo, I don't know if you're subscribed to the TyTalks YouTube channel. If you haven't, Glenn, everyone in the chat, if you haven't, please take a second. Go check out TyTalks YouTube channel. Believe me, you will say thank you to me a letter. Again, he has some, again, a lot of all his contents are excellent, really. The numbers will show you that people do like his content. So let's help him get at least 1,000 as soon as possible. He should have, he should have at least 2,000 subscribers, even more, given how long he's been doing this. But again, I have to be honest. Again, he hasn't been making too many videos due to his education and work at the same time. So thank you to Wally Waldo, who says again, cheers, Ty. I will sub now. Thank you to Wally Waldo, Ty Talks, Glenn, Blue Cloud Media, Nisa, and my brother from another mother. Glenn, I've said Glenn. Who else have I not said hello to here? Liam Lane, the captain of the house, who's not here right now. It's Carney. Everyone else who again has been part of the show. It's been a brilliant discussion, debate, if you prefer. Thank you so much to Hakeem for CFC for finding the time to join the show today, bro. You're welcome, and I will add you to a group of panelists for Chelsea Perspective, so that whenever you have time, the link will always be available for you to join. Thank you to TyTalks, my brother, as always, finding time to join the show. Thank you, guys. See you guys tomorrow for another Blue Morning show. Thank you, and God bless us all, and bye.
Okay, bye.